dudes.
Represents a clear and present danger to the national security of the United States.
You have no idea what
Hello and welcome to Season 2 of Clear and Present Dudes, your thriller movie podcast. We are back after our Christmas hiatus, so Happy New Year to all our loyal listeners and welcome to our new listeners. I am Mike Barr. I'm joined here by my friend Rory O'Toole.
Hello.
And our third, Sanya Bjorkson, is normally here, but he couldn't make it this evening. But nevertheless, the show must go on. We've got a few new updates. We've got a new Substack, and we'll start pumping out some sort of newsletter type posts to give you a heads up of what's going on in the podcast. Lots of exciting new stuff happening in the next few months. We're participating in something called Podcastathon in March, which is a big charitable drive that we are participating in for a charity called Trash Cats, which is a home for feral cats. So more information on that in due course. This month we are doing Michael Mann, which we alluded to the end of last year, a celebration of the films of Michael Mann, hence why we are starting today with Collateral. Next week we're going to be talking about Manhunter, and then after that we've got a few more episodes lined up ready to go, but I'm not going to tell you any more than that. Subscribe to Substack and find out for yourself. And as ever, I'd like just to say thank you very much for your engagement over the last 6 or 7 months of the podcast. But as always, please feel free to comment on the Spotify, like and subscribe and comment on the YouTube, or subscribe on the Substack, or like and review and rate it on Apple Podcasts. Any of these, much appreciated. Has a tremendous impact for very, very small podcasts like ourselves just starting out. So yeah, any of that would be greatly, greatly appreciated. Cool. Roy, how was your Christmas, New Year?
Decent, yeah. It was decent. It was relatively trouble-free, and I've still got a significant amount of Boxing Day party food in the fridge. It's still edible because it's all stuff like salami and stuff, so I've got like enough to stock a couple of cheese boards going forward. It was nice. It was nice to recharge and think deeply about the films of Michael Mann and keep repeating phrases like "nobody shoots cities like Michael Mann" and "holy shit, look at that skyline" and all those other things. And
LA is really a character in the movie.
I know, it's like I'm terrible for saying that. It's like, oh, the film noir, the city's a character, but it is. Yeah, so I've watched this film 3 times recently. I'm really excited by it. I am absolutely jazzed after Christmas of resting, recuperating, forward planning for this excellent podcast, and just getting really excited every time you put in the group chat that you've seen like a listener from another country. We've just added Mexico to the list, I believe. So
We have indeed.
as you said, we've got our Mexican listeners got the foot to the floor in preparation for Sicario, so that's going to be excellent. I am excited. I'm excited for more podding this year.
Excellent, man. So without further ado, shall we head straight into our movie of choice this week, Collateral?
Absolutely, let's go.
I got 5 stops to make.
What's your name?
Max.
Max. I'm Vincent.
I'll meet you in the alley behind the building.
Oh no! What the hell?
You killed. Red light, Max.
Hold on.
Man, you were gonna drive me around tonight and never be the wiser, but we're into plan B. Now we gotta make the best of it. Improvise, adapt to the environment. Whatever, man, we gotta roll with it.
You just met him once and you kill him like that?
But I should only kill people after I get to know them?
I'm not up for this.
What are you gonna do about it?
There's a man named Vincent.
I got another DOA.
He's already killed witnesses. He's coming to kill you.
Max! I do this for a living!
Welcome back. So we are discussing Collateral, a 2004 American action thriller film directed and produced by Michael Mann, written by Stuart Beattie and starring Tom Cruise and Jamie Foxx, with a supporting cast including Jada Pinkett Smith, Mark Ruffalo in a relatively early role, Peter Berg, who is more of a producer than an actor, but we'll get into that in a bit, Javier Bardem, really early role, and Bruce McGill, a recurring Michael Mann regular. The film follows Max Drucker, a Los Angeles cab driver, and his customer, Vincent, played by Tom Cruise, who's offered a really high fare for driving to several locations in one night. Max agrees, but soon finds himself taken hostage by Vincent, who turns out to be a sociopathic hitman on a contract killing spree. An incredible setup for a movie.
Absolutely. It's Tom Cruise in villain mode, Tom Cruise in scumbag mode, really. You can tell that he loves being a dick in this film. You can tell that he's really enjoying being an absolute turbo bastard. I hope to see more villainous Tom Cruise performances now that he's kind of seemingly going down the more independent kind of film route again with things like Digger and stuff like that. So that's going to be...
Now he's cast off the shawl of Ethan Hunt, the world's goodest guy.
Yeah. And he's going to be making film bro films again.
Which this is definitely one of those.
I was
this
going to
is
say this is yeah.
big film bro movie. Like if you think about if Heat is the peak film bro movie, this isn't. It's up there. It's up there with Heat, isn't it? Also Michael Mann, of course. In fact, yeah, let's do it. Let's talk about the Tom Cruise video now. So Tom Cruise, Michael Mann, a combination we didn't know we needed until it happened.
Yeah.
Two guys who both have got an incredible work ethic and have both got that big push for realism in their films.
Yeah.
In slightly different ways, I think. Like Michael Mann is realism. I want it to be and sound and look real. And Tom Cruise is very much, I want to really do this, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And that drive together, it's a bit like if you have a boss and like your second in command at work, and they're both singing off the same aim sheet, and it's a nightmare because they just bounce off each other. And it's just good ideas club after good ideas club, and that's just what happened with this movie. Like Michael Mann made Vincent made Tom Cruise go around LA as a courier dropping off parcels.
It's like a FedEx delivery guy. Yeah, that's like, what?
So yeah, like to like go, well, you're like the biggest star in Hollywood. Can you get around undetected in LA like a hitman would? And Tom Cruise is like, yeah.
I love how this is like up there with how I forget who it was who directed Joan of Arc, but like he purposely made Mila Jovovich go out in like I think Paris on the piss with like a bad Joan of Arc bowl cut just to get paparazzi to some kind of a fucking humiliation ritual. And it's like, one, it's not that humiliating because she's still Mila Jovovich, right? I mean, like, fuck. But also, like, just the fact that it's like, you go out and humiliate yourself and get noticed, and it's like, you, Tom Cruise, go out and be among the people and hide yourself among them and somehow covertly be a FedEx courier. It's wild to me.
There's a couple of homework assignments that Michael Mann had the cast doing this. He had Jimmy Foxx drive an actual LA cab around and take fares for like 3 weeks or something before filming started. So just meant you're going to be a cab driver now. Did he get to keep tips? Don't know.
He's more efficient in the job centre and getting people employed, to be honest. Like, I think really he's missed a calling. Would have lost a significant amount of films, but also more people would have found work really quickly, you know? It's like...
Sign on for a Michael Mann movie, you get like...
Back when work experience meant something.
Yeah. The other big one for Michael Mann is that all the arms training he had everybody do before the movie as well. So we had like months and months of they got a former SAS guy called Mick Gould. I probably shouldn't have said the name, but it's on the internet, so who cares? But yeah, as the weapons trainer, and he had obviously Tom Cruise all over it, loves it. Jimmy Foxx obviously got into it as well. My interesting one I thought was that Mark Ruffalo had to do the training as well. 3 months of marksmanship training, live ammunition with a 9mm pistol, and he doesn't even discharge a firearm in the movie. Just so he could convincingly carry it. Attention
to detail, man. Attention to detail, you know?
Yeah.
Michael Mann is my guy, honestly. Attention to detail. Everyone in the film looks really competent with the firearms, except for, obviously for Max, because he's meant to not be confident and meant to be like unaware of how to use it properly and stuff. And he has terrible fucking form when he's shooting for a reason, you know? And it's perfect. It's brilliant.
Yeah, it's great. We'll come back on to firearms in a
Certainly
bit
will.
as we get through the film, I think. But yeah, big time. The other big thing, I think I'm just going to tick off all the film bro talking points before we get started so we're not like tripping up on ourselves as we go. The other big one about this movie, of course, is that it was shot in a combination of 35mm for the indoor sequences and famously quite an early digital for the outdoor. And the reason for that is that they filmed it actually at night, obviously.
Yeah.
In real locations around LA. So they wanted a compact camera setup that they could carry around, I suppose. But primarily they wanted a camera that could handle really low light situations with digital at the time, and I think nowadays it doesn't look that different. And I don't want to get into the proper nerdy, like what kind of camera it was and all that kind of stuff. It's not. This is not that kind of podcast. But yeah, the digital cameras could handle a lot lower level light. Gave it that kind of grainy look though, and it gave it that kind of like, I'm gonna say this, and I don't mean to like sound like dismissive when I say it, but it looks like a bit like a student movie in the sense that it's made with like shot on digital as opposed to real film, because and it has like kind of the not motion smoothing, but there is a bit of a motion blur because it's low light.
Yeah.
And then pumped up with the brightness afterwards, I suppose.
Yeah.
So the way that the motion on the screen looks is fundamentally different from how it looks on film. And that effect is now pretty dated because of advances in digital filmmaking. That's where I'm going with that. So what that does is it gives this movie a really unique look that wasn't really replicated too much. The only other film I can think of, off the top of my head, that looks a bit like it is Inland Empire by David Lynch.
Yeah, yeah.
Deliberately wants to have an ugly, grainy look. That was part of the language of the film in that particular instance. Film bro out. but
Film bro nerd cancelled.
Yeah, but what I want to say is the look of the camera work on this, not camera work, because that implies the movement of the camera. That's not what I'm saying. The look of the visual information on screen from the camera looks a bit like lower budget and amateurish, but that hides so much of the incredible craft in this film. So the stunt work is incredible. The actual lighting of inside the cabin and stuff to make the movie look the way it does, incredible. All the action sequences, including the shot on film sequence inside the club later on, great. But how they've shot that to make it look with it as if it's in the same film as this, also genius. Yeah. So, God, right. I'm spilling it out about it, but it looks amazing.
No, it'll be right, especially about the kind of like student film thing, because obviously having worked on student films as a composer, I loved it, by the way. It was absolutely class working with like some students doing like music for them. A kind of unifying like theme of like a lot of student films is like you're filming at night in the city that you know, because most universities are in an urban setting. Most students are doing stuff through the day, so it makes sense that you're shooting stuff at night. So that again, it kind of piles in on the whole student film kind of vibe that it has. Like, and it works. It's like this film, right, with the way it's shot, it digs into every memory of a night out you've ever had in the city. Everything. It's got that kind of like a little bit like dreamlike kind of feeling. This film, the nighttime scenes to me feel like they're all at about 3:30 in the morning. And I know they're not, because like the film obviously has a chronology that follows, but all the nighttime scenes feel like 3 in the morning. It's like 3:30 in the morning. The scene when he's at the petrol station, there's like hardly anyone about, and he's getting given some shit about getting people killed and that. It's fantastic ways of making this incredibly populous city with its huge economy, the 8th biggest in the world or whatever, as he says in the taxi, making this big city seem empty at times, and it's absolutely class the way it's put together. It's and you get the feeling like only someone who knows that place knows the spots to make it just look so friggin' barren, yet also full of people, if you see what I mean.
Yeah, totally. I think this movie is pretty well regarded by people from LA as well as a great LA film. I think there's a documentary called, what's it called? LA Starring as Itself or something it's called, which is about the history of LA in film. Where a lot of people talk about it. It predates this film by a couple of years. But one of the big criticisms of movies up until this point, and I suppose if you include things like The Nice Guys and stuff that would come later, and maybe LA Confidential to a certain extent, a lot of films about LA show LA in a very different light, a very, very, very positive, very clean, palm trees, Sunset Boulevard, all nice. And don't go into the seedy underbelly. Don't talk about crime as much as they do. Obviously, Predator 2 doesn't do that. but
oh my God!
It's
the art house film that is Predator 2.
It's a story of two halves, isn't it? But the artifice. But I think what people really love about this is like you see bits of the city that you don't necessarily always see. But I say that because despite the fact that this film is kind of like a bit of a patchwork quilt of LA geographically, like when he's driving from one place to the next, and you're seeing all the shots in over the I-10 or whatever it is, highway that they're going across, and that kind of thing. Geographically, it doesn't physically make sense to go from this location to this street to this street to this street. And if you were watching it and you were from LA and you like ingested LA and you lived there and you were big in the film culture and stuff and you watched it and you were as nerdy as we are, you'd probably go, oh, well, you know what, that route doesn't look right. However,
Yeah.
it looks amazing because it's great. He's found all these great shots and there's all these great moments, and actually it transcends that. Okay, cool. Right, I'll just get into it a little bit. So Collateral was released in the US on August the 6th, 2004. Grossed over $220 million worldwide. Received critical acclaim, in particular for performances of Cruise and Foxx, Mann's directing and editing. And it was one of the top 10 films of 2004, according to the National Board of Review. And at the 77th Academy Awards, Foxx received a nomination for Best Supporting Actor. He also won that year for Best Actor in Ray, but he got a Best Supporting Actor nom for this. And the editors, Jim Miller and Paul Rubel, were also nominated for Best Film Editing. They also won, I think, a BAFTA for Best Cinematography. Max Drucker is a LA cab driver, and I'm reading this from Wikipedia, and it says he's trying to save his earnings and start his own limousine business. But I think the fundamental truth of this film is that he's not really doing that.
Yeah, it's just the way he copes, isn't it? It's like, I mean...
Yeah. It's the lie that he needs to believe that sticks him in his current life.
Yeah, yeah.
One of the evening's fares, though, is federal prosecutor Annie Farrell, Jada Pinkett Smith, who works for the U.S. Attorney for the Central District of California. They strike up a conversation, and they have a bit of flirting, and it's kind of great. It's important. I think it's a pivotal scene at the start of the movie as a fundamental character beat for Foxx, and also gives the film its kind of heart that it needs to rely on in the very back end of it.
Yeah, totally.
What do you think?
So bear with me here, but I've seen not a lot, but I've seen a few reviews of this film on Letterboxd who have gripes against the fact that Max has this kind of badass transformation later in the film. Obviously, for all our new listeners / viewers, this is a spoiler cast. We do talk about the films in details. We are going to spoil things. If you haven't seen the film, we're still going to be here in 2 hours' time. Just get this film watched. It's kino, man. It's really good. So, this opening scene, the opening kind of banter and stuff that he has on, like the way he speaks to her, the personality that he reflects with her is not reflected again in the film. Like the charisma level and the confidence is not reflected again for quite some time. And then later when he has this that kind of badass reveal, he locks right in and he starts being a badass, you know? And I've seen reviews saying that this is like, this is one of the worst parts of the film because he has this like great transformation, but you see the roots of it in this particular opening scene. And when we do get the bit when he shows himself as being proper steely, I'll cut into why I think this underlines it. So that's a bit of a spoiler for 45 minutes time or whatever. It's brilliant though.
That's a really good point. I'm glad you raised that, because I was gonna, if you weren't gonna do it, I was gonna lose to it actually, because you do see him, and you don't know him yet, really. Yeah. What we do see is he's like super uber clean. Yeah. He has his little routine. He's a little bit dowdy looking. He looks like someone's dad, doesn't he? He's got like he's got like a little hoodie on. And he's not. He doesn't turn himself up particularly well, but he's taking a lot of pride in the appearance of the cab. Yeah. Is what I'm getting from it. His clothes are careworn, is what I'm saying. Yeah. But he transcends that to become like this really charismatic operator when he starts talking to Annie. Absolutely. And you see this is a kind of transcendence again later on. I mean, so prior to the scene with Annie, part of the film that I loved was just the bits when he's kind of getting ready for his shift, when you see him getting ready for his shift, when he's at the garage, when there's a little bit of a dust up between a couple of drivers over one of the cars or something, and then you see Max getting in his vehicle and he's slipping his little island photo in there, and he's just he's a fastidious, clean guy, but just the way that whole sequence is shot with the kind of close-ups on like the toolkits and people working on things, and it's Michael Mann's kind of realism. It looks like it was shot in a fully working like taxi garage. You know, I mean, it might be, and it's Michael Mann. You know, I mean, he might have really made Tom Cruise work as a hitman for 6 years. Who knows? It's Michael Mann. Nobody knows what he can do. No one knows what Michael Mann's capable of. It's this attention to detail again that just makes everything pop massively. Things about Max's taxi is
CD collection on the sun visor.
Yeah,
You seen that? One of those like CD caddies from back in the day when the world moved slower and was less insane, and we all had like CDR fucking burned mixtapes and this. Yeah, there's a lot of storytelling about Max within his car. And it's not even his car, it's a car that's owned by the company, right? But like you see him take ownership of it and you see him put his little brand on it, his little island thing. And yeah, then we see him have that awkward drive with the quite shouty couple, and then straight away he gets Annie into his car. He reads her personality. He's aware of what she does. He identifies the kind of bag that she's wearing to her. He works out that she's a lawyer, you know? It shows him as incredibly astute. It sets a lot of groundwork for how the film's gonna go. And I think it really shows this film is from a time that we'll never have again. I mean, I know kind of pretty much every film is like that. Every film's like a snapshot, isn't it, of when it's made and when it's set. This is a time when GPS exists, mobile phones that can receive emails exist, but it still takes a really good cabbie to tell you it's going to be 12 minutes to your destination, and here's the way to go. Yeah. You know, it's like 2000s kids will never understand. You know. Yeah. I mean, it's like up there with like ringing a taxi company to be told he's just round the corner, he'll be there in a minute. These things probably don't happen anymore, but yeah. So Max is a real everyman hero, and he's it lays down a lot of groundwork for his development in the opening sequences in which you see him pick Annie up.
Yeah, it also, if you're eagle-eyed, you'd kind of, I think you'd be able to infer from looking at that because he doesn't say it out loud, but you can tell by the way he's like got that cab. That is, it's not really a temporary job for him. He says to Annie it's temporary, but we can tell already that he's pretty well established in this cab, and it's not just like a short-term thing where he's just got into a random cab and is taking it for the day. Like, he's got his cab, and he's got his stuff on there, and he looks after it, and it's like, So when you hear later on in the movie that he's been doing it for 12 years, you're not surprised. I'll tell you what, actually, we've missed a really important point before we get into this.
Yeah.
The very first opening shot of this movie. The very first scene is the arrival into LAX of Tom Cruise's Vincent.
Yeah.
And he has a briefcase swap with a one Mr. Jason
Statham. Holy crap. Yeah. And you know, the guy who did the Transporter films has like publicly said that he believes that's actually Jason Statham's character from the Transporter as well.
That's his
personal read on it. That's his kind of headcanon. I love that, man.
Very
that's
strange.
Brilliant.
Yeah, really weird, very jarring to see.
Yeah, it's a baller move opening a film with Jason Statham, who's never seen again after that. Like, it is an absolute baller move. There's like no kind of Jason Statham comes back in the third act to snap some necks and cash some checks. He just appears for a few moments. It could have been anyone doing that backdrop. It could have been literally someone from Central Casting. Any kind of random extra that didn't even need dialogue. Yet Michael Mann chose to Michael Mann all over the place and just pull Jason Statham in.
You all right, mate? You all right, mate?
You slept.
He's like, oh, sorry to bump into you. Oh, it's all right, mate. No, don't worry about it. You enjoy LA, mate. You enjoy LA. I love that.
Have a banana.
Have a banana. Oi. I'm the transporter, I am. Well, cockney knees up. What? You enjoy it. I'm going to go get a taco. Jesus Christ. I don't know where that came from. Cool. So the next thing happens is Max picks up a new passenger, and it is one Mr. Tom Cruise as Vincent. Already kind of a bit of a weird, jarring moment. We've already seen him, of course, but now we're getting a proper look at him, and it's a weird sight, isn't it? Tom Cruise, pretty jarring at the time, I think. Tom Cruise, grey hair.
Yeah.
And an old beard. And he starts up a conversation with Max, and he's probing for information pretty quickly. Like he's feeling him out, you know?
Yeah, like he's kind of like social engineering him to like get as much information as he can, isn't he?
Yeah, and I think Max is a little bit in on it because he gets a little bit reserved. He doesn't want to answer all the questions. So, I don't want. He starts getting probed about the limousine thing. He doesn't want to talk about the limousine thing, even though he was super happy to talk about it with Annie.
Yeah.
So there's a bit of code switching as he is less comfortable around Vincent.
Yeah, I think in general, a taxi driver is probably going to be a bit more cautious around some weird dude, you know, than like a lass. I think it's like kind of is what it is. I mean, obviously if one of those like signs having you saying, "Oh, driver only carries like $5 and change." I mean, being robbed in like the back of a taxi from the back of a taxi, sorry, is something that's a real thing that happens. And I think maybe he's less suspicious of a woman than a dude, kind of thing. Yeah. They've got a bulletproof partition because fellas draw heat, but the driver's got a bigger one up under his seat. I'm sorry, but like you're right. Like he feels himself being needled, and he's like, I
think what screws him in the end is, however, he is a goddamn professional, and when he gets asked how long it would take to make their first trip, he says it's precisely 17 minutes, and Vincent catches on to that. And again, contrasting with the chat with Annie, they have a similar thing where they argue about the best route to take. That kind of is brought up again by Vincent. He wants to do a similar thing, but he's like, I've already given up my free ride today.
Yes, that is an absolute power of a line.
Yeah, and he's like, I'm not doing it. Which is already showing you like the rapport is not there. Like the initial rapport is not there. There is something weird going on here, and it's a bit weird and not comfortable. However, he does make it in exactly 17 minutes, and he tries to like blow it off like modestly, like, oh, I got lucky with the lights, it's not a big deal. That's when he gets offered the opportunity of a lifetime to make a lot of money by being on retainer for the rest of the evening, which is he's not meant to do. But then he gets flashed a big wedge of money, and we have our first stop. Vincent goes in the first building, Max drives his car into the alleyway, and then a pretty quick reality check occurs.
Yeah, when body just
lands on the roof.
On the car. Yeah,
it's like, oh goddamn!
Yeah. Are you okay?
Are you okay, buddy?
You okay?
My man, you okay? He's like, no,
he's
extremely dead.
He's incredibly not okay.
Yeah, that is the first victim, and I think his name is Ramon. We don't. What I like about this movie actually is that we are just dropped straight into it with this stuff. Yeah. There's no wider, great big conspiracy. It's not like Heat, where we meet like 30 odd different key players over the course of the movie and understand the size of this particular criminal enterprise. There are people all over the place on this, and we see some of them, and we don't understand the full picture. We never understand the full picture by the end of the movie. Yeah. It's really tightly focused. That sounds a bit wanky, but when I say it's focused, I mean we are in that car. We are either in that car or we are following Mark Ruffalo around, and that's it. That's all we see. We see it from the ground. We see it from the LAPD, the one good detective in LAPD, and we see it from this one taxi driver. And that's all.
The one good one.
Yeah.
Every city gets one. Every city gets one.
You got one observant, moral detective.
One who's okay, and the rest are all like dope bags, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we start with Bruce Willis in Striking Distance, you know.
Yeah. Bosch, man. It's a
Bosch, there we go, yeah.
Bosch probably takes over from... What's he called? Fanning? Is Mark Ruffalo's character?
Fanning, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, this is the reality check, the big wake-up call.
Yeah.
Cat's out the bag. And then Vincent comes down. And I tell you what I also like about this is, and we're going to see it as we go through all the different hits, is... the movie isn't shy about it being a bit of it's almost like a play in times, because you've got these plot actions taking place, and there's a bunch of like real life human emotions and reactions you would have to all that stuff. And every now and again, the movie kind of steps away from that and goes, well, let's have a philosophical conversation about where we're each at in our lives as well.
Yeah.
In a way that would never happen if this was really happening.
Yeah, no, it's I mean, if this really happened, everyone's adrenaline would be up so high that it's just... The real film is just Max driving around fucking screaming.
Yeah.
Just screaming, sweating
gibbering
to death, gibbering, shaking, screaming, crying, throwing up, and just Vincent telling him to shut up for the entire film. Most of Vincent's dialogue would have shut up, Max. Can I just really double back to what you said about how kind of sparse the storytelling is regarding the targets for Vincent? Can you imagine if, like, James Gunn made this movie? And like there'd be like a 3 or 4 minute sequence where each of the guys who's getting hit gets shown, and like there's like a freeze frame and the guy's name comes up like Ramon El Gordo, whatever.
Like it has been like smoking aces. It's been like Joe Callahan smoking aces.
Yeah, or like in Suicide Squad or something like that.
Yeah.
Well, it's like a freeze frame and there's like the name and some factoids about them, like golf handicappers and stuff like that. And I like that you don't really see any kind of real introduction to them, like you said. Michael Mann has the ability to like cut the fat off things and still have a big sweeping, expansive film.
Mission focus on this is a key driver for the plot. Do you never feel like the progression of time, weirdly, it feels like you're stuck in stasis, like this guy is trapped in this one never-ending night, and yet there's also a ticking clock on it at the same time, because come sunrise, there's going to be the MacGuffin of the movie, which is the grand jury indictment with the evidence being given. As we later learn in the movie, that the people on the hit list are witnesses in a large federal case. So at this point, Vincent reveals himself to be a hitman, forces Max to hide the body in the trunk, and then they kind of clean up the car a little bit, and they're going to continue driving. Already, like, this is a massive setback because the car is dinged up. Max has obviously found out that he's a hitman, which he probably wasn't intended to at all, never mind any point during the night. And now, cat's out the bag. So off to the races, as I like to say.
Yeah. It also features a great, incredibly cold line from Vincent, which was perfectly delivered, when he says, "You promise not to tell anyone, right?"
Yeah.
And it's just like, he just puts that tiny bit of naivety, that false naivety in the way he says it.
Yeah.
Enough to kind of build just enough trust in Max. So Max will say, and it's like, Max, you're going to get killed at the end of this night. You're going to get murdered, and it's just such a hard line. There are so many great lines Tom Cruise delivers in this film.
It's like he's fucking with him as well. He's like, "You promised not to tell anyone, right?" It's like, yeah, get in the car. Like, you idiot. Of course we're doing this. This is happening, man. This is happening to you now. You just, get the program. The other cold line he delivers on this bit is when Max says, "You killed him." He's like, "No, I shot him. The bullets in the fall killed him." And it's like, okay, edgelord.
Edgy, man. It's honestly, be careful, man. You might cut yourself on the edge of like 90% of his dialogue. But it's like, I'm a nihilist, baby.
Quite by chance, Mark Ruffalo's character, and you don't even recognise him when you first see him, because he's got this slicked back hair, he's got this goatee, like a leather jacket.
He's got a little earring.
He's
like Mark Ruffalo in earring scumbag mode.
He's like a pirate. Yeah.
Yes, he's like a pirate of the streets.
Pirate of the streets. And he just happens to be going to see one of his CIs, who was the first victim. Obviously for like other stuff, not just this big case, I guess.
Yeah.
And he just so happens to not be available because, he's quite dead.
Yeah.
But that's how he gets into the story. So we have this one LAPD detective who's like, "Oh, I smell a rat," and he shows his chops.
Yeah. I like how he calls on the phone for a night detective.
Yeah.
And that sounds like you see, it's your crime protection, but
yeah, it is.
It's it's a sexy version of
man, dude, I need to get you into Bosch in a big way.
Yeah, so obviously a night detective is probably a thing, I imagine. Elucidate me as to what a night detective is, because you'll probably know. I don't.
From my knowledge of watching Bosch, and I don't even know how accurate it is, but Bosch happens to also be set in LA, right?
Yeah. And
he works in like West Hollywood, and there are different ranks of detective in the LAPD, so like D1, D2, D3, increasing in seniority as they go, and Bosch is like a D3. The junior ones, they obviously get partnered up with like a more senior one, but when they're getting their details, he can also pull, like, one of the jobs can just be like a night detective, like so there's always someone who's got like the shit, like it's almost like you've got to pay your dues, you got to do your time as a night detective. It's exactly what it sounds like. Right, so yeah,
it actually sounds like one of those like job titles that's like really cool, but as you've just like elucidated there, is actually kind of the shit end of the stick as far as detective work goes. It's like
shit jobs on.
Yeah. It's like, what do you do? I'm a night detective. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, no further questions about that. Just imagine the job's really cool, right?
Yeah. Man. All those Michael Connelly novels, they all have like a little section where it's like the detective on watch, and they're like dripping about how shit it is. Like one of his characters is called Renee Ballard, and she's got her own like TV series now, like spin-off series on Amazon, I think it is. But like the one I've just started reading was like her on New Year's Eve as a night detective, like fucking kicking off. Yeah, so
Yeah.
not glamorous.
Shit.
We're coming up to one of the coolest bits of the movie, however. Second stop. Vincent has not yet developed a rapport of trust with Max quite reasonably, so he cable ties Max's hands to the steering wheel as he goes to do his second hit of the evening. I can't even remember if we even see the hit. I don't think we do. We see nothing of the hit.
Was he the guy going down the stairs after being told someone's there?
It's the attorney, and the cover he has to get there is he says he's a notary to somebody off screen. Yeah. So you see him go out and meet him. So that's the last we see of the guy until we see his body in the morgue.
And I'm going to think a super late at night notary. He's like the night notary.
Yeah.
It's like a significant amount of the jobs in this film, but just like job title with night in front of it.
Yeah, it's the night notary. The night witness.
Night witness, I like it.
Weird. But the true story is happening in the cab with Max.
Yeah.
So he is trying to get attention. He's trying to get himself released from the cab. Obviously wants to do the right thing, talk to the police, all that kind of good jazz. But he didn't count on LA being against him.
Yeah. His naivety at this point, because I will say he does like swing around a bit of naivety at the start. Sometimes he seems quite switched on, but the first act of the film, he seems to pivot from naive to actually quite astute. And he's naive here when he thinks these lads will help him. Or maybe he's aware that Ellie has got dirtbags in it, which probably is, and he's just hoping for someone nicer, which again is very optimistic, and it is poorly placed optimism in the people of the City of Angels.
They are real scumbags. They do not hesitate to rob him. And one of them is tweaking hard because, like, he's like, give me your wallet. And he's like, dude, can't you see my hands are fucking cable tied to the steering wheel? He's like, I don't give a cat. I don't give a fuck what they're cable tied to. Give me your wallet. It's like,
I say, the fact that the cable tied to anything, you doil him, means that I can't access anything. You fucking clamp it.
Yeah, absolutely moron. Then he's like, jackpot! And he grabs Tom Cruise's briefcase, the iconic briefcase.
Yeah.
And those guys just start walking away. And man, I've watched this movie a few times in my life, but I've watched this clip probably dozens upon dozens of times. And it's weird when you watch a clip so often that you kind of lock into it when it starts happening in the movie. You're like,
yeah.
But, you know, like that bit is like so much clearer in my memory.
Yeah.
Is those guys walking away from the car in the alley and then Cruise appearing.
Yeah.
And then delivering the iconic line, yo, homie, that my briefcase?
Yes.
And, yeah, man, and I want your fucking wallet. Yeah. He doesn't like follow that.
Yeah, and then it obviously just leads into one of the greatest short, little, nasty, brutal gunfight sequences. Brilliant. It's not really a gunfight because it's just like no one fights back at all. It's just incredible cinematic gunplay. It's amazing.
Brutal execution.
Yeah.
Going above and beyond any reasonable force that the situation required. But he's a hitman, he's not a cop.
Yeah. Which I've done my fair share of research into, as we may discuss later.
Brutal sequence, but just elevated by the yo homie, that my briefcase.
Yeah.
Where did that come from? Just again, it's code switching, and it's and it's a way of my personal read on it is we talk a lot about, if you read like a lot of discourse online, a recurring subject that I see in my feed, I don't know why, is self-defense and what people do in situations where they're getting like mugged in the street, probably because this is a damning indictment of the state of the world today. But it's advice and people's observations about what to do if you're approached at night in public, and that kind of thing. The key one I see is people who want to commit violent crimes of any nature, and including sexual crimes or whatever. They rehearse it in their heads over and over again, and they fixate on it. And they have a way that they think it's going to work. And they have, and it's a bit like they do like the whole, you ever like relived an argument in the shower? It's like that, but fucking evil. They like go through like every single bit of the scenario they can imagine. And have this power fantasy of how they're going to fucking handle it, as, you know, these thugs and sometimes deeply evil people do. And the big bit of advice that I've seen online is, fuck with that. do something that they wouldn't expect, and it just short circuits their brain because they expect you to fight, or they expect you to start hurling abuse. They expect you to yell help. They probably expect you to yell fire. What they don't expect you to do is to like fucking start singing the national anthem, you know, like, or pretend to be like loudly drunk in the street, or you know, like there's. I'm not suggesting like I'm not going to advocate for any one particular course of action because I've not been trained in that, and I think it'd be irresponsible to say that. But what I read from this is Tom Cruise is a white man in a suit yelling "Yo homie, that my briefcase." It's like a what the fuck?
Straight away makes it a weird situation. It's like, I mean, it's a weird line to deliver in general. It's a weird line for Tom Cruise to deliver in specific, and it's just great because, yeah, like you say, like the way the other characters react to it, it's like, what the fuck's going on here? And there's like just enough kind of confusion and weirdness, and it's like, because it's not like, oh no, give him my briefcase back. It's like, yo homie, is that mine? But it's like draws the one with the briefcase in to move in for confrontation. He's already showing us like lack of willingness to kill Tom Cruise by having a gun on him and not fucking shooting him.
Yeah.
There's this great bit in
chink of weakness that is exploited by Cruise.
There's this great bit in season 2 of The Punisher, the Netflix one, when Frank Castle's like instructing this lass that he's with on, if you disarm someone, shoot them straight away. And and there's this great scene when she like struggles a gun off a guy, and he's got about half a second. She's like, no, and then she just domes him, and it's like, that's cinema. But it's like, yeah, he's not shot Tom Cruise yet. And Tom Cruise has him, like he's got him on the ropes and doesn't even realise yet.
Yeah.
Then there's just that great offhand punch, pistol draw, bang, bang, pivot, bang, 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 turn around, final dead check on the first guy.
I love that you've called that a dead check. And like, when I was taught how to do a dead check, it was like you put a thumb in someone's eye, not, or you like you lean on their chest and you put a thumb in their eye. You don't shoot them again.
I mean, both of these do ensure, right, that like someone's
once a confirmation.
I was gonna say, you're a professional officer in His Majesty's Royal Navy. You want a scumbag mode assassin on the streets of LA, man?
Yeah.
Dead check is as dead check does, dude.
Different sport. Yeah, man. The bit we didn't talk about was they get pulled over by the cops pretty early.
Yeah.
And I think they did this as a functional bit of the script to say, look, this is what would happen if they get pulled over by the cops. And clearly it doesn't go well. It starts to go awry pretty quickly. But some major incidents, some off-screen, we never hear anything else about it, some major incident has occurred somewhere else in town, and a whole bunch of, and everyone's been pulled away to it. And it's the kind of thing that happens, yet another Bosch reference, because we're doing LA. It's very much a case of, like, if there's an officer involved in a shooting,
yeah,
everyone drops and runs to it from all around and basically floods the place with cop cars. So it's implied that something like that has happened, and that is why we don't get any more interactions with the police until after the car crash, very late in the movie. But yeah, that was worth highlighting as to, like, it kind of deals with it. You have to extend your suspension of disbelief that we can have this thing where he goes around all night with his fucked up car, because, you know, people get stopped for having a taillight out, and he's got his windscreen is fucked, and like the little taxi bit on the top is fucked, and yeah.
Yeah.
But the next hit is Vincent. My God, man. Says to Max, hey, you know what? We've been for all this. Let's just go for a drink. And Max is like, yeah, sounds good. So they go to this jazz club.
This is such a good sequence. Oh my God, holy crap.
This is so good. So you see this brilliant jazz sequence, and the guy playing the trumpet,
yeah,
is a prison officer in Rush Hour. It's just worth pointing out. Yeah. So anyway, they watch this performance. Vincent talks to a waitress, says, who's the guy playing? Oh, that's the owner. Perfect. And tell him to come to our table afterwards. He'd like to have a drink with him and stuff. So then you get this really nice sequence where they're having this great conversation about freaking like Miles Davis and this time he played with Miles.
His Miles Davis impressions are so good.
Yeah.
So good. Just like, just the way he tells the story about that one like hip guy and his girlfriend trying to talk to Miles Davis, and Miles is like, get the fuck out of here, you motherfucking take your silly bitch with you. Just
so
delivered so perfectly.
Yeah, it's awesome. Great scene, you know. Very different vibe, and this is sacrilege, but I'm going to say it anyway. Like, if you were to compare the diner scene in Heat, Pacino and De Niro, two titans of cinema, sharing this one scene, this iconic movie, like, this isn't that far off, actually, in terms of tension.
The tension
and, like, what's going on. It's incredible. Everyone at the table plays it really, really well.
Yeah.
The second that Vincent drops, he references like the location of like where his employees are from.
Cartagena, yeah.
That's it, yeah. So he says like regards from Cartagena, something like that.
Yeah.
And that's when the penny drops to the jazz man, who's actually like an ex-con.
Yeah.
That's also kind of implied through the story that he was going to be a good jazz player, and then he got
drafted,
into some trouble.
He got drafted, and then afterwards shit happened. Yeah.
But yeah, exactly. Gone to a life of crime, went to prison for like 20 years or whatever.
But still managed to end up owning a nightclub, which was pretty cool. But I guess that was probably his cartel connections, you know.
That's exactly it. Yeah. So once the penny drops, we get into this really brutal sequence where he's like, right, Max is really keen to like give a chance, man. Like, we're having a good night. Like, what's going on? Like, what, you know, is there anything you can do like to get away with it? You know. And then Vincent flexes on him.
Yeah.
This jazz thing. Like, all right, let's do I'll tell you what, I'll ask you a jazz question. If you answer my jazz question, I'll let you live.
Yeah.
Ask you a jazz question about Miles Davis. And he's like, I know everything there is to know about Miles Davis. And he asks him, where did Miles Davis learn music?
Yeah.
And he replies, the Juilliard School of Music in New York.
Yeah.
And then Vincent just fucking shoots him twice in the forehead.
Yeah.
Despite it being factually accurate.
Yeah, and then he kind of like actuallys him when he said, well, actually, you met Charlie Parker and got actually he got mentored by him. Fuck you, Vincent.
Vincent's a fucking edgelord. Like this is I'll tell you what, right? This is the connection this movie has. Vincent, as the edgelord of this movie, is who Tom Cruise in Magnolia thinks he is.
Yeah.
Is that fucking scumbag pickup artist.
Yeah, that's a very good point.
He thinks he's as like hard and as cool and as like emotionless and has bits, you know, and then Vincent is the actual has stuff missing.
Yeah.
Like has fundamental parts of his human faculty just not there. He's just not there.
Yeah.
He's a void. That actually gets said in the movie, I think, pretty much. But but he comes out with this thing, and then like Max calls on it straight away. He's like, "He's right. You got the right answer.
Yeah.
You killed him anyway." And he's like, "You didn't really have a chance. Like he was never going to not do it."
Yeah.
So he's like a cat playing with his food, really.
Yeah.
Also evil, deeply evil.
We've also missed the point when Max's boss is on the radio to him, giving him shit about damaging the car, and Vincent just fucking thins him out, pretending to be an attorney or something, and he just gets on comms and destroys him. And then it's like, tell him you'll shove this yellow cab up his fat ass. I'll shove this yellow cab up your fat ass. And it's like, I don't know, it's like the like live wife reaction from Emma's like, yeah, this guy fucking rules. Actually, it's like, yeah, he does, but not for long.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, again, it's just it is. There was no real need for that to be in the film. Really, you didn't need to say like a scene when he actually acts like a fucking decent dude and actually gives the guy shit for messing with a working man. However, it's all part of his like, you know, manipulation. It's something he's done a lot, probably. I mean, they talk about how there was a previous incident with a taxi driver who drove around LA. A few people got killed. Then he was found dead in his car. So, you know, a similar thing probably happened the last time. He gets in a car. He gives him like $600 or whatever. And then once again, he's probably haven't like fend off the guy's dispatcher and just give him shit down the radio and say, no, you know, listen to me. Don't mess with my guy. Don't tell my guy to finish his shift and give his car to the next guy. Cause you know, me and him have got, I don't know, bonding and shit to do, I guess.
Yeah. It is very much like, in survival mode, like the whole movie.
Yeah.
All he's doing is he's doing a job.
Yeah.
And he's thinking on his feet the entire time. This plan goes off the rails immediately. So everything he does from the second that fucking body hits the roof of the taxi at the beginning, is just him improvising jazz, I ching.
Yeah, Darwin,
fucking
jazz, I ching.
To do what he needs to do to like get to the next step of the fucking dance, you know?
Yeah.
Even when he does things that are outwardly like potentially quite decent, right? Like turning that guy off. Really, all he's doing is getting rid of that guy off the radio, shutting him up.
Yeah, basically, because he's getting in his way.
Yeah, that's it. Which is a shame because, you know, what we do see is that Vincent is incredibly capable.
Yeah.
it's implied, it's not confirmed, but it seems like he's ex-military.
Yeah.
And for some reason, 6 years ago, went private and
Well, hold on.
became a hitman.
Is there not a scene when they're talking about when they're saying that he was like a former criminal attorney turned attorney criminal?
No, that's the guy. That's the second guy, the second victim.
Oh, right. Sorry, I fucked that up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. No, that's Fanning talks about that when
Right. Yes.
he IDs the body and he calls his boss and is talking about it, I think.
Oh, right. Yes. Gotcha.
Yeah. But no, good pull. Similar though. I think when he's talking to Max, I think he gives away that he's been doing it for 6 years.
Yeah. That's right.
And it's obviously like you don't pick that up later in life.
Yeah.
Do you?
Like you're right. Like he's clearly been doing some nasty stuff somewhere. Was he in the death squads?
Well, that's what I was gonna wait till we got to like the categories, but I was gonna say, like, is this movie pro or anti-CIA? Because this guy's probably fucking ex-CIA.
Yeah, they're assassins. Yeah, I mean, it's high
Yeah.
possibility, definitely. I mean,
It's definitely something.
it's like tradecraft's pretty good at times. He seems competent, skilled.
Gets in places without any issues.
Gets
He's already
into it,
scrubbed up
yeah.
the building that Annie works at.
I mean, yeah, like he's been inside like a secure building at like literally the start of the film.
Yeah.
And it's like, I wonder who's really supervising the whole hit. Is it the guys from Cartagena, or is it someone much higher up? Because he's managed to swan into like a
Yeah, you do get the impression that maybe someone in the federal government is on a very high level has potentially signed off the killing of all these witnesses because you don't want to upset the apple cart too much.
Yeah. The mad thing is, though, wouldn't this like just end up in a mistrial anyway if like a bunch of the witnesses got killed? I mean, like they would probably just bring it to trial again, wouldn't they? Just
Yeah.
but,
Yeah.
for the film and stuff. Yeah, forget it.
Well, this is it. This is the beautiful thing about the film is that we don't. So, man, similar to Bosch. Bosch has some similar stuff that happens. Bosch mentioned, but similar thing happens on Bosch, and you see, but in that because it's they're like 10 episode long seasons. You talk to the district attorney, you talk to the chief of police, you talk to like the federal agents, and they go through the whole like, right, okay, can you talk to the judge? And what was the judge going to decide? Is the judge going to take that person's affidavit as evidence and use it in the trial, even if they're not alive, to testify to because they've clearly been assassinated, or are they not going to do that? And then who's paying off the judge and blah 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 blah. But we don't see that in this movie because it's all about the cab.
Well, that's the thing. Again, it's just kind of like writing that's sparse when it needs to be and expansive when it needs to be as well.
I like it because it hints at obviously the criminal conspiracy going on. It hints at the broader world, and it does it to the economy of the story just as much as you need, and not an ounce more, an ounce more. Like you get a shot of some helicopters flying to know there's more people around. That's it.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. The next thing we get is the dispatchers grumpily calling Max again because his mum's been on the phone.
Yeah.
So, and this is when Max reveals to Vincent that he's got a mum who's in hospital, and then Vincent says, well, you've got a nightly routine that you've got to keep up with, we've got to go and do it. So we get this fucking bonkers scene where they go to the hospital, and Vincent's like...
flowers for her, and at first, like, she thins her son out for buying flowers, and he's like, actually, my cool, handsome friends bought them. Oh my God, they're beautiful, I love you, Tom Cruise.
Fuck me, man. And you see Max's like exasperated reaction, like who hasn't been shown up like that in front of their friends? Like,
yeah,
incredible.
Absolutely mogged by Tom Cruise.
Brilliant.
Ruined my taxi cell chud life.
Yeah, I love this sequence. One, because it gives us like really important character information about Vincent that we see. We get some insight into Vincent's lack of a home life, I guess. Because he's kind of like talking to the mum really kindly, and you kind of get the impression like he hasn't had a conversation like this with another person for like a long time, probably.
Yeah.
So this is like novel and strange to him, I think. So you get that a bit. The other thing I really like about this sequence is that there's some cool details in the production design. So behind the mum is a collection of headshots, and I was like, what is that about? But it's because and I think she says it eventually. Is she says like my Max, he had nothing, he came from nothing, but then he worked his way up, and he's got his own company, he drives all the stars around in Hollywood.
Yeah.
So I like that. There's all these cool headshots, and I've got to highlight one in particular because I did a double take when I watched it last week, and then I was like, "What the fuck?" And I just stopped it and I found it on YouTube and took a screen cap and everything. And one of the headshots is Misha Barton, who was only just getting famous in 2004 for being in the OC. Absolutely nuts. Just
Amazing.
bang on, pure Misha Barton face. And I was like, "What the fuck?"
Incredible. The mad thing is as well, because it's Michael Mann, you know, there's like probably loads of thought into just whose headshots he was going to use for that.
Yeah.
Crazy
So
stuff.
in Michael Mann's head, he's had the conversation in his own head between Max and Mum saying, "You know that show you like, the OC? Well, I drove that Marissa girl around in my limo." And then the mum's like, "Was Ryan there? Was Seth there?"
Oh my God. Jesus. Bloody hell. There's that line of dialogue as well when she says, "Oh, Max is always talking to himself in the mirror."
Yeah.
And I like that for kind of reasons that I'll go into later when I go in like as kind of like badass reveal and stuff.
Well, yeah, I like that. It's also a hint that maybe Max and Vincent are not so different. And had their lives gone in slightly different directions, they are not. You're not so different, you and I.
Would I? In another life, I could be driving the taxi and you could have the gun to the back of my head.
The hospital sequence ends with this movie's ration of Tom Cruise running. Max sees an opportunity, is pissed off with the rapport that is immediately developed between Vincent and his mum.
Yeah.
And in his frustration, steals Vincent's briefcase.
That's such a stupid move as well. It's like, come on, man. It's like,
Your homie. So he picks up the briefcase, starts running out of the hospital with it. Vincent's chasing after him. You get the whole thing, running down the stairs, running through corridors. Nobody runs like Tom Cruise. He absolutely nails it. And then Max gets onto an overpass over the freeway.
Yeah.
Vincent holds him at gunpoint, but it's not enough. Max hurls it onto the road, where a perfectly timed 18-wheeler smashes into it. And sends all the...
like it bounces off it, doesn't it? And then like another vehicle hits it, and it's like to shreds, everything destroyed.
Yeah. If it'd been like a Looney Tunes cartoon, like the road would have come and stamped on it 5 times as well, just to like finish it off. And you see like bits of laptop and like bits of papers and the X-rays and pictures all get destroyed.
I mean, again, it's like if this film was made today, you wouldn't have that kind of issue because it would be all on a smartphone, wouldn't it? It would be all like a burner phone that he picks up out of someone's
encrypted cloud or something. Yeah. You
see, this is why like technology really matters in the storytelling of these kind of films, these kind of eras. And there's just certain things just really couldn't do to the same effect, to the same level, and have the same kind of like kind of story beats around it, you know?
This occupies a very specific moment in time where technology, we have mobile phones, which people often talk online like, oh, how many movies would be solved, how many misunderstandings in films would be solved if people had mobile phones. You know, like any Shakespeare play would probably be immediately resolved if people had smartphones. If Romeo and Juliet could go on Snapchat, I feel like most of that would be squared away. And
if they went on TikTok, they'd go viral, baby. Can you imagine? Can you imagine that? Like they would they'd have a influencer couple name like Roju or something like that, and they'd just be huge. They wouldn't need to, spoiler alert for Shakespeare, kill themselves because they'd just be gigantic on TikTok. They'd be getting like sponsorships and everything. Crazy mode, man.
Tybalt going like, shipping my boy Romeo and his girl Juliet, Roju forever.
Shipping my boy, good grief.
Yeah.
You'd get toxic fandoms, you're like, oh my god, Romeo deserves better.
So the point I was going to say was the mobile phone alone is not enough to fix it. The mobile phone as we know it today, maybe like a smartphone, but just having those mobile phones that they have in the movie. Good effort finding a mobile phone with a rundown battery in those days, by the way. We'll get to that later.
What the hell is...
Thank you.
Was this person that you robbed low-key homeless, just hiding that fact?
Hadn't charged it in 3 weeks.
For a month or something. I love as well how he has to go. It goes upwards the roof of a building to try and get signal. It's these things just these things just do not apply anymore.
So I'll be interested to see how this plays out. This exact same composition plays out when we do Black Hat eventually. Many Januaries from now, probably.
Yes.
So that is to say that unfortunately destroying the briefcase is not enough to deter Vincent from completing his task. He's a goddamn professional, if nothing else. What it does mean, though, is he has to send Max to go and meet the client.
Yeah.
Felix Reyes Torrena.
Yeah.
Played by Javier Bardem. and reobtain the information of the final 2 targets. He needs another copy of the files. But it means we have this awesome sequence where Max has to front up to Felix's club, and he's already at a massive disadvantage. So we talk about code switching a lot in this movie because there's quite a lot of it. Another topic that I think is that clothes maketh the man to a certain extent, and we see that in the costuming. Vincent's got a very sharp suit on.
Yeah.
Which gradually, like all good movies, gets a little bit more disheveled as the night goes on, as things happen. So he starts with a shirt and tie, all done up, grey suit, very well tailored, all that kind of good stuff. As the movie goes on, things go awry. He loses the tie pretty much immediately. Max, by comparison, has been cutting around in like some slacks and like an old hoodie.
Yeah.
And he's not wearing a button down underneath that either. It's just a t-shirt, I think.
Yeah.
So he's got an uphill battle, going up to this exclusive club run by a cartel boss, getting past security and sitting at the guy's table.
The fucking meanest security guys known to man as well. It's like, there's a lot of them and all of them look like psychos, you know? It's like...
Yeah. And he rocks up to the door and he's like, I'm looking to speak to Felix. And they're like, there's no Felix here.
Yeah.
Fuck off.
yeah, it's like, oh, sorry, mate, it's not your night.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Like, you can't come in with those shoes on. Yeah, God.
Them shoes are casual, mate. When was the last time you even got told by bounce that's not your night, mate?
Yeah, I can't even remember.
For me, it was maybe about 2008 or 9 when I tried again somewhere in the big market, and the bouncer took one look at me in my mirror, and he's like, it's not your night, boys. Thanks for saving us a beating, mate. I don't think this happens anymore.
It does feel like that is just fundamentally different. I think nights out have fundamentally changed since we've got to our advanced stage. Like, this is going to... If we had any young listeners, it would alienate them. Luckily we don't, right? So, guys, fellow old people, do you fellow elder millennials and Gen Xers, do you remember when...
My people, sons and daughters of Gaviscon.
Yeah.
You were saying.
Like, you know, if you went out on a night out, even if you were going out as a group, you wouldn't necessarily stay as a group. You didn't have smartphones, so synchronizing your movements was like now and impossible.
Yeah.
So you would just go off on side quests, wouldn't you?
You would, yeah.
And then eventually you would find your way back to like either like the one big club that everyone knew, like that was going to be like the place where we were going to wind up on that night. Often by accident, and you just like see each other. You have those moments where you see each other on the dance floor, like that episode of Spaced. Remember that episode of Spaced?
Oh my God!
Where they just like wind up in the same club at the end, like that shit used to really happen.
Yeah,
like, that doesn't happen anymore.
It's like I was speaking to so when I was working at one of the breweries I was at, we had a guy from Ekeg who came to like deliver and pick up like rental kegs, and he would say that he used to be a bouncer, but he ended up like retiring, and his whole thing was like a lot like it's gone beyond like doormen. They don't want like kind of hard guys at the door. They want people who are polished, maitre d' kind of front of house guys that were welcoming and stuff. But he was saying he realised he had to get out of the game when he worked in Yorkshire, and he's outside some bar in this like courtyard area, and he's the way he tells the story, he's like, he's on the back of a guy and he's like kind of pushing his face into the concrete with his hand, and he's been on the comms to like the police. He's been comms to the police turn up, and the police are right, okay, can you get off me here? And he's like, I can't. And the cops, why? He's like, my back's gone out. And this guy threw his back out while fucking pinning a guy to the deck. This guy was an absolute character. Yeah, I guess the territory, the nightlife territory is very different.
Yeah. So our man Max manages to get into the club by name dropping that he's Vincent.
Yeah.
Which somehow manages to set them off, which is weird, isn't it? Like that the security on the door of the club are aware of the name of the hitman that Felix has hired to do this job. That's weird to me that they would know.
Like it's like, I mean, I guess it's like got to be like a really suspension of disbelief thing, because if I was like Felix running this shit, it's like, right, okay, there's like a passphrase, there's a code phrase that whoever needs to see me as a priority can say. It's like, you know, I'm tired of this orgasm kind of thing. So
I'm always saying that.
Yeah. Same. It's like, this is why I get all like the cartel nightclubs. I go up to a bunch of incredibly militarized bouncers and just say, hey man, I'm tired of this orgasm. But I think it's like suspension of disbelief to get them in. But yeah, I wouldn't imagine this one cartel guy who, I mean, Annie's surprised that he's even physically in play in the city, right? So it's hard to think you would just have a blanket thing for someone turns up and says the Vincent. Oh, let him in just in case it turns out with some random guy who's just said, oh, it's me, it's Vincent, you know? Can you imagine?
Yeah, it's mental. Absolutely crazy. I also should point out that at this point, the LAPD have hooked up with the
Feds, yeah.
feds as well.
The FBI.
And it's worth pointing out because the FBI agent in charge is Bruce McGill. Have you seen The Insider, also by Michael Mann?
I have not.
It's a fantastic film about the court cases to fight big tobacco.
Yeah.
With Russell Crowe. Bruce McGill plays a attorney from Mississippi, and he has one of the all-time crash-out scenes.
And lefts, ups and downs and middles. So what? You don't get to instruct anything around here. This is not North Carolina, not South Carolina, nor Kentucky. This is the sovereign state of Mississippi's proceeding. Wipe that smirk off your face! Dr. Wagon's deposition will be part of this record.
He's like, get that smirk off your face.
Yes.
Yeah, it's so good. Oh, you might have lefts and ups and downs and rights and middles. And oh, man, it's so good.
Oh, I didn't say this film so bad, man.
Yeah, it's so good. He's incredible. So ever since then, I've watched stuff from Bruce McGill. Bruce McGill also worked with Michael Mann very early in his career. He had a 2-part episode of Miami Vice, which used to be executive produced by Michael Mann.
Yeah.
And his is great. He's like a bent cop who like went off the rails after his partner died and like got into like the drug trade and stuff. Or like goes with Vice. And yeah, it's great. And there's like one of those epic sequences, you know, like every Miami Vice had an amazing music video. There's like a great one of them, but it's Brothers in Arms by Dire Straits. And oh my God, it's...
Man, I have to see that.
Chef's Kiss. That's on YouTube. You can watch that on YouTube.
Just the amount of like amazing guest stars that they have in episodes of Miami Vice. It's just what a roster, what an absolute roster, man.
Boggles the mind, man. One of these days we'll do like a Miami Vice pod, but like Jesus, man, so many like people are still huge now get like their really early breaks in Miami Vice. People like Liam Neeson, Helena Bonham Carter is like 2 episodes in season 4 or 5 or something.
Leonard Cohen's in it. Leonard Cohen makes a guest appearance.
Let's go. Frank Zappa is in it.
No way, man. No fucking way.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. Anyway, we've strayed once again.
Hi, man. Mike, this is why we boast dozens of listeners.
So Max is struggling
Yeah.
to make an impression on Felix. He explains that he lost the list. Probably not the words I would have chosen. I would have said maybe I destroyed the list. Lost implies it's out in the wind and anyone could find it. Felix explains that, you know, a very expensive surveillance operation had taken place to compile that list. It implies that maybe there's a different federal agency maybe involved in that.
Yeah.
In order to prop up the cartels. I don't know.
Sicario. Sorry, I got some from Michael.
Yeah. So slightly implied that that's happening, potentially. And then he obviously is like, give me one reason why I don't fucking kill you, kind of thing. And then Max finds a moment where he does that like iconic code switch where he's like, tell the guy behind me to like put his fucking gun away before I turn around and like put a cap in his bitch ass. Yeah. Something like that.
I think it's like, beat his bitch ass to death with it.
That's it.
This is when I'm pulling back a lot of the things I've kind of hinted at and using them here. He is at his best when there's something sketchy going on behind him because he's a taxi driver and he's used to weird shit happening behind him. He's used to controlling the conversation when he needs to, when he's chatting up Annie. He's used to years, 12 years, does it say, of probably having weird freaks and geeks and psychos in the back. And when you talk about how he practices talking in the mirror as well, he's good at exerting his authority because he practices it while looking forward, you know, when like looking at someone else, which is like, and it's like, I don't know, maybe it's wrong, but I think it's all kind of feeds in. When people say, oh, how does he have this big badass turnaround? How does he become such a cool dude? Well, he's always been a cool dude. He can turn it on and off when he needs to. I mean, he's cool as fuck when he's chatting up. I mean, he's a taxi driver who manages to get like federal prosecutors' digits. Come on, man. Like he's got charisma when he fucking needs to it. He needs to have it. He's he's practicing talking in the mirror, maybe intimidating people, maybe he's practicing his business pitches and stuff, and then it all clicks for him. And it isn't the fact that he magically evolves into someone tough, it's the fact that all these aspects of his personality, of what he does in his day-to-day life, click in just this excellent moment. And the cherry on top, the final bit, the best bit, is that he's downloaded enough of Vincent's personality to just sharpen up with that last line, Darwin, I Ching, all that, quoting him.
Yeah.
You know? And it's excellent. And it's just two powerhouse performances, because you see the brilliant bit about Humpty Dumpty and Black Peter.
Do you believe in Humpty Dumpty?
It is Javier Bardem, man, seriously. Now, just a few years later, he was signed up for No Country for Old Men, and he's like, why have you taken me on for this film? I don't speak English really good, but it's like he has this peculiar way of speaking in English that just adds, I think, like,
there's an otherworldly sense about him, isn't there?
Yeah, like
he's like I've met an ancient traveller on an abandoned road.
Yeah,
kind of.
like it's something. It's something, right? It's otherworldly. It's like, it doesn't sound to me like someone who speaks poor English. It sounds like someone from like another place, another time. But the film seems like shift its reality a little bit as you get this like philosophical talk of folk tales and Humpty Dumpty and stuff. And if it was some American dude like, hey, you hear about Humpty Dumpty? You believe in that shit? You know, you believe in, and it wouldn't work. But
he's softly spoken.
It's tranquil, is what it is.
Yeah, and because of that, it's like so much more intimidating.
Yeah,
I think what all of this is, to me, is like the city is almost like a different realm at night. It becomes a different place. It's a different, and this is like a quest that he's on.
Yeah.
Stop me from getting a bit mental, but like you gotta remember that Michael Mann also directed The Keep.
He fucking
so we can go there.
He can go right there. He can go psychedelic when he wants to, man.
Yeah, and I do think there is something a bit of like an episodic quest of this thing, because there's 5 hits, because there's the little journey between each one, and there's all these little side quests that he goes on. It does feel like the city itself is this like different realm where different rules apply.
Yeah.
One evidence is this weird conversation about Humpty Dumpty and Black Peter and all that kind of stuff. Do you believe in Humpty Dumpty? Like that's in there. That's a weird part of it. Another bit we're going to see, I think a turning point in the movie coming up right after this is the scene where they stop and watch the coyotes crossing the road.
Yeah, that's like
this is a different realm. This isn't your daddy's LA. This is like somewhere else, something else, a moment in time.
This is when you've got to the point in the late night / early morning when it gets weird. This is like the weird hours of the city. This is like when
witching hour.
It's the witching hour. It's the point when the only people who are up are either up to no good, watching people who are up to no good, you know? And it's excellent. But yeah, the coyote scene, there's so much, it's polarizing, the coyote scene, from what I've seen on reviews. Some people fucking hate it. There's some people really angry at it. It's like, no, it's cool, man. Like it shows, to me, it's like, it shows that the city, for all it's this big modern construction, it isn't too far away from the wilderness. It isn't too far away from the wild, from strangeness, from like, because I mean, a coyote is violence personified, isn't it? I mean, I like them. I think they're cute, but also it's like you don't think of them as like a nurturing animal. Like they are much like Vincent. They're a hunter, you know.
There's a bit of mysticism around them as well.
Definitely, yeah.
And I think that's important. It helps that they're fucking massive. It's if this had been like in London and it'd been like urban foxes, it wouldn't have hit the same.
They're just like turned down a corner and there's like 2 urban foxes having sex and just screaming.
Yeah, and instead of like
noise they make.
Instead of like, we've got Audio Slave here, so obviously got Chris Cornell's incredible vocals.
Yeah.
As much as that maybe dates the film a little bit, Audio Slave, you can't say a bad word about Chris Cornell, God rest his soul, in his incredible voice. And if this had happened in Britain, what would you have had? Gavin Rossdale from Bush or something?
Oh, would it be the Libertines if it was in London, right? 2004. It's clearly the Libertines. It's like, don't look back into the sun. And there's 2 urban foxes just brutally mated, making horrible, like, assault kind of noises. Because you know that the time has come.
Distinctly worse film.
But yeah, just... Shadow on sun. Yeah, man. Fuck. Audio Slave. It's I don't know if it's nostalgia, but I feel like maybe we didn't appreciate Audio Slave as much as we should when they came out.
Yeah. Overall, as a nation, I mean, in
Yeah.
my parents' house, it was on all the time.
Yeah,
We had MTV2 on all the time.
Yeah.
My mum got really into Audio Slave actually. As
Hell
well.
yeah.
So she didn't like Rage Against the Machine, but she liked Audio Slave. She didn't like the rapping, but she didn't mind when Chris Cornell came in and did the soaring vocals.
Yeah. And they were soaring vocals.
Indeed. Chris Cornell also, here's my hot take for the podcast. Did what I think is one of the better Bond themes, actually. People don't give people don't give that the credit it deserves. You know my name.
Yeah.
Awesome song.
I'm gonna get in fucking fights by saying that I think the Sheryl Crow one is a low key, incredibly good Bond theme.
Is it Tomorrow Never Dies?
Yes, it is. Then again, I would fight in the streets for Sheryl Crow. So
I know you would. As would I.
yeah.
Songs of the Key of X.
Yeah, songs in the key of X. Goated.
Right, here we go. Number 4 is a target called Peter Lim, and he right now is in a nightclub, I think called Fever. The FBI have been watching Max at the other club. They think that Max is Vincent. They think that's to say they think Jamie Foxx is the assassin.
Yeah, because Fanning's had the driver's license emailed to his cell phone. It's like technology.
Technology.
I love that. Like email it to my cell phone. Like, yes, get in.
Yeah.
And so yeah, but they believe that real drivers floating in the river somewhere, and it's like, but Fanning believes in him. God damn it.
Yeah, and all the FBI guys are saying like, oh yeah, this happens all the time. You get these ex-KGB guys, and they're like super heavily trained operators. They'll kill the guy, and then they'll take over, and they can blend in. They're like chameleons. I'm like, but it's not true in this particular case.
I just love the idea like some fucking ex-KGB guy like being a Los Angeles taxi driver. Hey, sup, comrade? How you doing? You like those Dodgers, da?
It's like, you know what like sprung to mind there?
Yeah.
It was like Bob Hoskins as Mario in the Super Mario movie. Like, am I meant to believe that you really are a Brooklyn plumber? like, what the fuck?
Have a banana.
Have a banana. Oh.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, love, where's your stopcock?
The fucking world's most cockney man.
Oh, gotta go to the Mushroom Kingdom.
Oh, blimey.
God almighty.
Like literally the world's most cockney man somehow playing the world's most Italian plumber.
All right, love, this is my brother, John Lucas Armo.
Don't ask too many questions, love.
Crazy film. Anyway, so Fanning, Ruffalo is our one good guy who believes that Jamie Foxx is not the guy. Everyone else is pretty keen to shoot Jamie Foxx in the head. Yeah. So we all converge.
Yeah, because Felix has sent his guys after them as well, hasn't he? So
he has, yeah.
So Felix guys kind of heading behind the FBI, tooling right up, etc.
That's right. So we have this like montage of everyone converging on the club, everyone tooling up, everyone checking out the weapons. You've got the one like cartel guy like putting his hands in front of the laser pointer.
Like, laser pointer, yeah. And it's such a big fucking chunky laser pointer as well. It's like, oh, that was a time. That was an aesthetic.
Yeah. And then we have this brilliant sequence in the Club Fever. This sequence I think took about 3 weeks to film. And they were long days. They were like 12-hour days. Some of the sort of behind the scenes notes I've seen, Tom Cruise apparently was instrumental, keep people's spirits up. It was always very high energy. So like same old from Tom Cruise, a consummate professional. The original DP left the project through creative differences with Michael Mann during this, because obviously very exacting about how you wanted this sequence to go. If you look at the credits of the movie, there's choreographers, there's about 90 stunt people. So you've got a club full of people who've got to be dancing. One thing I noticed quite early on in the sequence is you've got like a handful of hands up here with trays of drinks on them as well.
Yeah.
Which obviously gives a bit of texture and sense of perspective of the room as it goes down. But like that kind of stuff doesn't happen by accident. That's important. Otherwise, it'd just be a bunch of people in a room milling around.
Well, yeah.
And then we have this incredible sequence where very crowded, and yet the geography fits. This is like fucking I say this all the time, check please, but like the geography of the fight like still makes like pretty good sense.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
If you're paying attention to it. Kind of a bit mad that like Max is in there at all, but yeah. I mean, what did you think of it?
It's such a good scene. It's such a good sequence. Like I said, the geography makes sense. You get like a situational idea of where everyone is. It's never confusing. You know, like which lines of approach people are using and stuff like that. The camera work pulls you in. It puts you really in the moment. When you see Tom Cruise obviously starting to throw punches and kick people in the scene, when he just downs that guy and then like it's inferred he stamps on his head or his neck, and there's that look on his face that's like, I'm not sure if it's Vincent's joy at killing someone or if it's Tom Cruise's joy at being the bad guy, but there is something in that look on his face, like he's feeling good, man. It's excellent. There's when the shooting starts, it's brutal, it's gnarly, and you see, I've seen people give this scene a lot of shit. I've seen this scene get a lot of abuse in reviews on Letterboxd and stuff, like people saying that it's not realistic, it's a bad action scene, and it's like, well, I mean, it's so story time. I wasn't at this particular incident, but someone I knew was at a rock club in Newcastle, probably around this kind of time, actually, and the DJ was told someone was on the dance floor with a knife. And the DJ got on the mic, said, "Everybody get off the dance floor, someone's got a knife." And this one kid in a corn hoodie thought the DJ said, "Got the knife!" And so people are leaving the dance floor. And this one kid runs in a fucking corn t-shirt, corn hoodie, "Oh, got the knife." And it's like, so I think what people are getting at is that people don't believe that if this kind of shit popped off at a nightclub, there wouldn't be an immediate fucking stampede.
I agree. I don't agree because I've seen the exact same happen to me. I was in a Tiger in Portsmouth in 2011.
Yeah.
And a massive fight broke out about 4 feet away from me. And I didn't know about it until the jug of water I was holding suddenly had like a different glass in it. Just splashed. I was like, what the fuck? And then like I turned around and like one of the guys in our party had been like bopped in the nose. And was like pissing blood everywhere. And I was like, what the fuck just happened?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, so yeah, like that's why to me it's not an unbelievable fight, and it's not a scene that like ruins the film or anything. As if anything could ruin this film, but it's like, I mean, yeah, it's the whole gunplay section of it doesn't last super long. It's concise, it's violent, it's very to the point, and you don't see massive exoduses because it's, for a start, in terms of storytelling, most of the people there are probably fucking high or drunk anyway, right? And it's like the music's booming. No one's running in and screaming, "This is a raid! Put your hands up! Turn off the music!" kind of shit. So
people start fleeing when they hear the gunplay.
Yeah, yeah.
Which is when it would happen, you know?
Yeah, but it's not like kind of Tom Cruise walks in with a gun in his hand and everyone immediately disappears.
No, it's when Bruce McGill gets shot in the leg.
Yeah.
Yeah. What I like about that is the build up to all this is you've got the people getting taken out by Vincent as he's stalking around the place like a fucking predator. You've got Max like panic looking around, you know, trying to find anybody to help, I guess. You've got Fanning there. He wants to get to Max so he can get him out there safely because he knows that everyone else is going to try and kill him. And then you have Lim with his own personal security trying to like usher those guys onto the dance floor. He's getting like anxiety.
Yeah.
And as soon as the shooting starts, you can see all that like coming to a head. Like you say, really short sequence. I think the thing that really blows my mind about it is, and it hits more now because Mark Ruffalo is a much bigger name than he was in 2004. But seeing Fanning just get like summarily dispatched.
Yeah.
Like fuck. Like the one little bit of light in this movie that it was gonna have, it was gonna end all right, just gone.
Yeah.
Right. Cavalry's not coming anymore. Like it's everybody against Max and Vincent now.
Yeah. And Vincent's like, "What? I was helping you," you know, kind of thing. It's like, I was like, "No, you were hindering my chances of surviving tonight."
Yeah, fucking awful. Because you have that sequence where Vincent like saves his life.
Yeah.
By shooting that guy, and he looks at him and he's like,
yeah, like the one guy who believed in him and who was trying to extract him from the whole thing and to get him out of this mess. I do think, I mean, R.I.P. to Lim, but I'm built different. Because I simply wouldn't have been at a nightclub the night before I had to be in court as a witness. I'd be literally anywhere else than a fucking nightclub in the early hours of the morning, you know, with a token amount of armed security guys. when I know that I'm up against a fucking cartel. You know, I would be at home or anywhere else or out in the
You'd have it
hot.
any night, wouldn't you? You've got to go on the stand somewhere.
Yeah, yeah,
I'd be in a safe house.
yeah,
I'd be in a safe house with a federal fucking bodyguard.
yeah, like a bunch of like U.S. Marshals just like hanging around.
Yeah.
Then again, if there is a higher conspiracy, maybe there was no access to a budget for US.
Yeah, maybe, but I don't think I'd then go to fucking Tokyo Joe. It was on the high street either.
I'm just gonna treat this like any other night, and I'm gonna go fucking clubbing. I'm gonna sit in me fancy club in me friggin' booth with me dudes who will get a defenders and be high fucking profile. No, just literally go somewhere else. Go see a film. Go watch Bridget Jones 5 times in a row or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, just like find a cinema that's open all night. Stay in the house.
Yeah. Mental. Yeah. My take on it is I'm not 100% sure what the date of it is when the movie takes place. I don't know if there's I didn't like comb through it and do a freeze frame every single bit. I happen to notice it in passing at the very end of the film.
January 20.
Yeah. Sunday. So that means it would have been Saturday night when the night started, early Sunday morning when it's happening. So the court case starts on a Sunday morning.
Yeah, which is
Wild.
Wild.
Yeah. But I don't know. Because it's January 24th of 2004.
Yeah.
And I'm just thinking like how long it takes to do post-production on a film. I don't know if that's when it was shot or if it was shot generally a lot earlier. I need to like dig in some behind the scenes details on that. What I would say is that because of the way it's shot and that, maybe it hasn't had that much post-production. Maybe it did come out within 6 months of being shot.
Yeah.
Don't know. Anyway, so yeah, we have that sequence. Fanning, rest in peace, is now dead. We have you thought this was over? You lost out. You don't know how to fucking count. 5. You've got 1 more to go. Max, he's just driving with him, and he doesn't want to do it. And he gets into an argument with him, and they have a bit of a nihilistic argument about the value of human life. And they start having the whole kind of thing of like, because Vincent comes up with some very edgelord points. He's like, all right, okay, so like, how many people died in Rwanda? Did you fucking join Greenpeace? Did you like join Save the Whales? Like, or I don't know, have killed like one. What does he call him? He calls him like
Angelino.
One fat Angelino
goes out.
And suddenly you've got a moral imperative. It's like, well, I think you've oversimplified the issue there. There's a difference between deaths that were happening that have got nothing to do with you and things that you've had an actual participation. It's a trolley problem, isn't it?
Yeah.
So they have a bit of an argument about that. Max decides heroically to deliberately crash the cab. Incredible crash. I think a really good stunt.
Yeah, it's brilliant.
It's up there with like the maximum number of rolls a car's ever done in Casino Royale.
Yeah.
And that kind of stuff. What I like about it is he crashes it by driving it into a Jersey barrier.
Yeah.
Around some roadworks. A believable. I mean, right. Stunt people, if there are any in the comments, can probably like pile in with like this is the world's oldest setup for a stunt, but it happens to look like a natural bit of the roadworks.
Yeah.
And isn't like just a car crashing out of nowhere, which you sometimes just see a lot in like a lot of like 70s, 60s, 70s stunt work. You just see like cars crashing out of nowhere.
Yeah.
In fact, hang on a minute. In 2010's Unstoppable, we saw a police car like randomly roll out of nowhere because of like obviously what it's hit to make it do that is like concealed on the roadway. But like this makes perfect sense. The taxi driver has seen a Jersey barrier on the road and crashed into it to roll the car.
Well, you see, that's because like modern day police vehicles have like a secret flip over button that the government doesn't want you to know about.
Speed racer.
Yeah, there's like a special button you press and the vehicle just flips over. Governments don't want you to know this, man. I love how just obviously as well when he starts just blowing through red lights and you see him just flooring that thing and it's like that's the fucking power of a Crown Vic, baby. That's a powerful car. Terror through the city. Like, so when Vincent is kind of just really going in like spewing his like nihilism at him and stuff, this is like the real height of his conflict with him. He's spewing all this nihilistic shit at him. I like how the taximeter, it's visible a few times, and obviously it's fares reading all zeros. Now, it's Michael Mann. Nothing happens for no reason, and I love the fact that while he's talking about how nothing matters, nothing exists, that kind of thing, it's all bullshit, nothing's important, nothing's relevant to anything, we're just like, what, specks of dust in a galaxy or some shit like that, this edgelord stuff, and there's these big fat red zeros on the screen. Like, it's just like, that's just it's just reflective, I think, of his nihilism and his disbelief in anything. And this comes just before Max's kind of personal code and his beliefs kind of come back swinging into the fight. And he's like, you know what, Vincent, go fuck yourself, kind of thing. Fuck you, and it's like crash.
We get the closest thing that we have from Vincent of a hint of fear as well.
Yeah.
So obviously he sees the car going faster and faster and faster. Initially, he's like, "What are you doing, man? What are you doing?" Because he's going to get stopped by the police for running red light. That's what I read it as. I read it as him initially being concerned about standing out for having a traffic violation.
Yeah.
And then that's how you get pulled over and the body's found and blah, 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 blah. Then as he starts taking those like long downhills into those tight turns, you start to get from Vincent a sense of like, shit, like this guy's off the rails and I've lost control of him. And a little hint of fear. And then Vincent, of course, Max flips the cab. Great crash. Brilliant sequence.
Yeah.
Really believable. Crunchy. Max, I think, rinses Vincent for not wearing his seatbelt as well.
Yes, that's right. He does.
That's brilliant. And Vincent is also, he picks up his gun and it just hits Max like several times with it, like bang, 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 like just whacks him, like out of frustration. Very funny. But then he gets out, he takes off down the street, runs away.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, finally, like they've separated. There's like this thing that's glommed onto you all night is like finally departed. Great. And then the police come and you think, oh, great. He's gonna be able to talk to the police, he's gonna tell them what's going on. Finally, fantastic. Yeah. And then the patrolman sees the bonnet, the boot, and sees the body, and then he like pulls the weapon, and it's the precise same moment, I think, as Max sees the laptop, which has stayed on.
Yeah.
Take that, Neil Breen. And sees the identity of the fifth target, and of course it's Annie.
Yeah.
What are the chances? And I initially was like, that's a bit far-fetched that he was talking to Annie earlier on, but actually he drove her to her building and picked up Vincent, who was scoping out her building. It actually makes perfect sense. And her job. Yeah.
Yeah.
So unfortunately what does he do? He cuffs the guy, doesn't he?
He kind of cuffs him to the vehicle, right? And then he's like, "Oh, don't worry, I'll call the police." It's like he doesn't. Yeah, well, you've downloaded a little bit too much of Vincent's lying personality there, mate. But yeah. But what I love about it is that so we had an internal moment of change, I think, in the coyote scene. If we're going to be wanky about it, they both looked at those coyotes and they both had a moment where they really considered who they are and what they want out of life. We've obviously had these conversations throughout the movie between Vincent and Max, where Vincent is called Max on his bullshit. Basically, you're not starting this limousine company. All it takes for you to buy one town car, put a loan and get one town car, and then you're off to the races. But no, you've said you got to build up a client list. You've got to get employees. You've got to buy multiple cars. You've got to find a garage and all this stuff. And it's like you're just stalling. Yeah, you're not living your life. And then he says to him, you're going to get to the end of your life and realize you never took it. You never took a chance. You never did it. And then we get to the end of the movie, which is the incredible moment. So he obviously robs that guy's phone out of his hand. Yeah.
Hilarious. Just like pulling the gun. The guy's like, "Hey man," he puts the gun, like, "Whoa," and he falls over. Yeah, you would. And then he has the whole moment where he has to call Annie and try to explain what's going on, which is just it goes about as well as it possibly can do. It goes better than it probably could, It seems like a crank call until he mentions Felix Reyes Terena.
Yeah.
We have the whole sequence where they converge on her building. She's doing her routine that she said she was going to do at the start of the movie, so she's working late. So it's a good pull from Max to remember that and go to where she works as well. And we have the very tension building sequence of Max is stood on an adjacent building's roof. You can see up to the floors of the building they're in. She's on the 15th floor. Her office is on the 14th floor, and fucking Vincent is in her office, and she's on the floor above. So he has to go in there himself and get her out from underneath, basically the foot of this fucking trained contract killer.
Yeah.
Incredible sequence.
And she calls 911, and just before the power's cut, she says there's a man in the building, and then power goes out, and it's like, at this point, the film was just screaming to me, shit, the police are going to get the wrong guy. The wrong guy's going to get whacked at this point. Yeah,
there is a man in the building, a Michael Mann, and...
Michael Mann is in the fucking house. It is Michael Manuary, the first, baby.
I love this whole sequence. I love the shooting through, so many windows get shot through.
Yeah.
But again, there's a geography. there's like a little maze of desks they've got to get through.
Yeah.
And they do it. What I really love is a bit where Vincent picks up an office chair, throws it through a plate window, jumps through after it, trips on the chair,
It falls off it.
and then gets up and runs away. And like that.
Yeah. I mean, I wonder.
Tom Cruise did that stunt, and Tom Cruise probably demanded it remain in.
Because he does have a stunt double, credited in the film as well.
I did see that.
Yeah.
But apparently he still did many of his own stunts, so I wonder what bits he didn't do. It might be stuff like the car flipping, if there was someone in there, or probably not, though. Probably wouldn't have had anyone in it, but other bits of driving, probably.
Yeah, probably. I mean, what is the most, like, kind of dangerous physical stunt film, do you think, other than the car crash? Might it be that whole jump through the window thing? I mean, that is probably
in terms of like
one of the most demanding stunts other than the car crash, I guess.
Pick up the thing for the window, the chance of like, twisting your ankle or something.
Yeah,
are pretty high. But falling and, and like broken bones, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
There's probably a fair amount of that.
So I imagine that's the one that you'd expect the stuntman to do. But interesting. I mean, it's worth a deep dive that we don't have time for on this. On this.
I would love if there was some kind of movie stunt podcast to exist to go into this more detail. And I'd love to talk to somebody who doesn't know about stunts a lot more than we do. That'd be great. Yeah, deeply into that as an idea. Yeah, so they start to flee the building. Max cleverly decides to avoid the street and goes to the underground to get on a train. Vincent is not fooled and does follow them. And we have this fight sequence on the train. I love this. It's that whole classic of like, will they get on the train? Will they get off the train? There's a bit where there's two trains as well.
Yes.
There's the upper level and the lower level, and he has to decide which one's going to be. Pure chance, but he gets there and he picks the lower level correctly, unfortunately. Well, it would have been pretty underwhelming end of the film, actually, if he hadn't. But yeah, and then you have this whole like cat and mouse chase through the train, a bit like the deleted sequence from The Untouchables.
Yeah.
Totally different director, totally different screenwriter, but still. And then it culminates in another great shootout, not unlike the lift shootout from Smoking Aces.
Yes.
Poorly aimed shots.
Yeah, just kind of up close and personal. The film uses darkness as part of its storytelling. Yeah. Toolkit, lit only by muzzle flashes for moments. It's just like it's a difference between cover and concealment, right?
Yeah.
Because I mean, there's like stuff mashing up through the doors, through the windows, and Vincent comes off the worst for it. He's fatally shot, tries to reload, and then he realizes that he's cooked. Realizes he's hit, he's losing blood rapidly. He sits down and. Of course, Max is out of ammo as well, as his pistol's locked up, and he comes over.
Love that.
Yeah, and
he's still pointing it, and he's
it's brilliant. It just goes to show that he's not an action guy. I mean, he's like holding this pistol like a fucking talisman rather than a weapon, and he's managed to kill the guy, and it's like. Then of course you get that. Man gets on the MTA and dies, rides around for 6 hours. No one notices he's dead, kind of thing. From Max is then, we're nearly at the next station, and Vincent's then literally dies. He's like, he's just.
They just pull out a Palm Beach, and then he's like,
yeah.
It's poetic AF.
Yeah.
But I think it works for me because like this whole movie. It's this interplay between Max and Vincent, this two-header, this character study of the two of them.
Yeah.
Is elevated it, I think. Like what would have been a pretty straightforward action movie of like an anti-buddy cop movie.
Yeah.
But I think those philosophical chats they've had throughout the course of it, and like it's lent this almost like a fable kind of quality to it, like a fairy tale quality to it. And yeah, it's almost like sort of the moral good has triumphed over evil despite itself. Like, there's no way that that Max is the better marksman.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like a knight and a squire, but the knight's evil, right?
Yeah. So, yeah, it's kind of weird to see him. It's almost like Rumpelstiltskin has just been taken out and is like dying in the MTA. That's what it feels like to me. Like the evil trickster is like has been defeated by his own tools.
Yeah. It's so good.
Fantastic. And it just ends as well. I love this movie. It just ends as well. There's no extra bullshit at the end of it. There's no like, there's no like end sequence where he's like fucking opening his limousine company.
Yeah.
Or you see any of the trial. You don't see any of the trial.
Yeah.
You don't see news report. You don't see us stepping out of the courtroom, the courthouse, and news reporters going like, oh, the Felix Reyes Torreira has been sent away for 50 years. Like, none of that.
Yeah, like
none of that shit.
they're just out.
It
They're just
didn't matter.
done, because that's the importance of the story's over with. You can kind of like work out in your head kind of what happens to Felix or whatever at a later date. But it's Michael Mann cutting out the fat, paring things down, and things out, yet still leaving a really, really, really rich storytelling experience.
Yeah, big time.
100%.
Cool. Right, should we take a quick break and come back for categories?
Yo, homie. That my briefcase?
Your briefcase? Yeah, it is. Why? You want it back?
Hold you what?
What else you got? Huh?
So we're going to go through the categories, which is something that we've always done on Clear and Present Dudes. Got a few new categories for a new season, so we'll try those out as well as we go through. But first of all, I guess we'll stick with our always one, which is casting.
Yes.
So on this one, we don't talk about the major stars too much because we've talked about them for the last 2 hours. But we'll talk about some of the lesser known players and who they are in this movie. Got some really good ones for this movie. So starting with, so we've talked already about Tom Cruise, Jimmy Foxx, Jada Pinkett Smith, Mark Ruffalo. Mark Ruffalo, Detective Fanning's boss, is a guy called Peter Berg. His character called Richard Widener. Peter Berg is an actor, but he's also a producer, and he's an executive producer on The Leftovers, which is like one of the greatest TV shows ever made. So I just want to throw that one out there. Bruce McGill, we talked about already. Miami Vice, The Insider, but also, right, he's been in so much. National Lampoon's Animal House, Law Abiding Citizen, My Cousin Vinny, just one of the greatest movies ever made. Cinderella Man. Like, if you even look through his latest stuff, one thing, I don't know if you remember, but he was in season 1 of Reacher as the mayor.
Holy
of
crap!
the town.
No way! Yes.
Yeah.
Get in. Details.
With the little pimp cane. Yeah.
Details.
The jazz musician was played by Barry Shabaka Henley. Again, his you may know is not massively extensive, so he plays this iconic role as this jazz man and I guess gangster in this, but also plays Bobby the prison officer in Rush Hour. Tremendous. Only a very short scene, but really great. Yeah, Debbie Mazar, who is in a shit ton of stuff, including Empire Records and The Insider.
Empire Records mentioned Get In.
Exactly, yeah. She was Jane in Empire Records, who is, I think, Rex Manning's assistant. I think. But she just plays a young professional in this, just as a tiny role, but great.
Going quickly back to Barry Shabaka Henley, I've had a quick look at his IMDb. Holy shit, he's done a lot. I delayed that guy moment from him was he was in Heroes. He was in the Heroes TV series a few years after this film. He played Detective Brian Fuller. Where I remember him from.
Tell you what, as well, yeah. He also played. He was also in Death by Lightning, which came out this year, which was the miniseries on Netflix about the assassination of James Garfield.
Oh, right, get in. This is the second film that we've done when a member of the cast was a voice actor in Duckman. I cannot remember which other film we've talked about that there was someone in it who was being in Duckman, but he was in an episode of Duckman. We'll have to dig deeper into if there's like some kind of link between people in being episodes of Duckman and people being in really fucking good thrillers. I think there might be. He was in the Miami Vice film from 2006, so he continued working with Michael Mann 2 years later, which is pretty cool.
That's cool.
Yeah, he seems to have done a lot of interesting stuff.
Should we go through some quotes?
Yeah, such a dialogue-heavy film as well. The wit and wisdom, and especially the wit between Vincent and Max is brilliant. A high point of when there's the argument about how Vincent threw a man out of a window, and Vincent's like, "Oh no, I didn't. He fell." And then Max is like, "What did I do to you?" Etc. When Max gives him shit, you just met him once and you killed him like that, and just this absolute conversation ender of a line from Vincent. What? I should only kill people after I get to know them? And it's like, I mean, it's just no notes. 11 out of 10, no fucking notes. Of course, no one can argue with "Yo, homie, that my briefcase." That's
That's the one. Yo, homie, that my briefcase. So good. He's got quite like a menacing, punchy voice when he wants to.
He really
Tom
does.
Cruise.
He really does. I mean, like in Tropic Thunder, obviously, when he goes like kind of comically over the top, angry, like, "Yo, fuck your face" and all that. But when he wants to be like more low key, punchly intimidating, you know, it's like
Even when he was in A Few Good Men, he's like, "You cut those guys loose."
Yeah, exactly.
Like, still good.
The fucking only thing that didn't show up is the Polish cavalry, says Vincent after the nightclub shootout. It's like, is that a Siege of Vienna reference? Is that a Winged Hussars moment?
Chat is just fire. I like the train fight at the end, and then Vincent is just like getting angry and angry, and he goes, "Max, I do this for a living."
I'm doing it for a living. It's like, sir, I am a professional.
Oh, good. Man. If you go through the quotes on IMDb, it's just them arguing with each other the whole time. So, and some of those are funny, but some of them are just sad.
It's great. "Vincent, you're alive. I saved you. Do I get any thanks? No. All you do is clam up. You want to talk? Tell me to fuck off? Max, fuck off."
Yeah, I love that. There's a little grumble. If that had been like Joe Pesci, it would have been like that shrek stuff from like.
Like,
yeah, I guess the final lines as well. Like, just the guy gets on the MTA here in LA, dies. Do you think anyone will notice? Just that symbolism. I'll tell you what, actually, one thing I noticed at the very end. Oh, sorry, one thing I noticed that's really rewarding on a rewatch is right at the beginning of the movie, Vincent initially gives up on getting into Max's cab, like Max's head lost in something else.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Oh, forget it, I'll go to the next one." And he's like, "No, stop, I can take you, man." And it's like, oh, fuck, man, you were like this close to getting away from the whole thing.
Well, if the other guy had picked him up, if the other guy had picked him up, he would have killed everyone. You'd have got everyone, man. Because Max wouldn't have been there to realise that his final target was Annie.
Yeah, exactly, man. The whole thing would have gone very differently.
Yeah.
Crazy. Makes you think. Fate, the universe.
Kismet.
I Ching. Kismet. Darwin, man.
Man gets on the town and we are metro, dies.
Oh, cool, right. IMDb trivia. Dude, the very first one I've read here is Tom Cruise really fell when he stepped on the office chair. Michael Mann liked the anomaly so much he left it in the film. Called it.
Yeah, you did call it. Well done, man. Good call. That is amazing.
Excellent. All right, okay, we haven't talked about it yet. I did already know this. This movie initially wasn't a Michael Mann film. Initially, it was going to be a Frank Darabont film. Frank Darabont, obviously, like Walking Dead, but also like Shawshank Redemption. And when it was in that stage, it was going to be Russell Crowe and Adam Sandler. Did you know this? Could you imagine this movie had it been Russell Crowe and Adam Sandler? Like, gotta do 5 stops to play John Go, and he's like, "Come to the back of the book." Like,
big hell, such a fucking bad concept. That is painful.
I think there's potential there, right?
Yeah.
Russell Crowe, Rumper Stumper. I can see how they came up with it.
You see,
Russell Crowe,
Russell Crowe. I'm now looking for like what he was up to in 2004. I mean, Master and Commander, obviously. So
Master and Commander. Yeah.
Cinderella Man was the year after. Beautiful Mind. He did Gladiator and Proof of Life in the same year. Jesus Christ! You smoke too hard. You bitch too bad. You swag too different. They'll kill you.
Yeah.
I mean,
around this time, Adam Sandler, I think, is Punch Drunk Love.
Yeah.
Check.
I think in this point in his career, I could kind of see it. I mean, I could definitely see it. As you said, I think it's class you and I both went to like Romper Stomper at that point, which was like a 1992 film of this. But it's like, I mean, the Romper Stomper era of him, he could definitely do it. I think he could have pulled it off in 2004. with the kind of stuff that he's doing. I mean, especially like I said, he's done Proof of Life. He's done the thriller kind of stuff. A Beautiful
He's got
Mind.
range. You've seen Virtuosity.
Well, yeah, he has got range. He's gone from Gladiator, Proof of Life, Beautiful Mind, very different film to those, and then so yeah. I retract my statement that it wouldn't have been good because I can actually see it working. However, I'm still not sure about.
Adam Sandler. Yeah. I don't. Yeah. A weird one. It's a weird one, isn't it? But I can see how it happened.
Yeah.
They obviously wanted to have the sort of the comedian turn into a serious role because that's how they got Jamie Foxx.
Yeah.
Jamie Foxx had only done comedy beforehand.
Yeah.
And then was brought into this, really, really leveled up, delivered. Yeah, mad.
There's been so many people like in reviews saying, "Oh, it's just like it's unbelievable to see him playing a cool person." And I can't. It's like, well, no, it's called acting. It's called acting. He's a good fucking actor.
Tom Cruise's tactical draw is so good in a scene from Collateral that it's used by experts in lessons for handgun training. Obviously, it's the Yo Homie, My Briefcase
Yeah.
sequence. That's all right. So that's interesting. So that's a handgun sequence that's so good from a Michael Mann film.
And
Mick Gould, the West Point one, both the same SAS operator trained everyone.
Really, wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, so not surprising.
Yeah, so he did the training for Heat as well. Yeah,
he did. Yeah,
incredible.
So yeah, when the American military like it so much, it's because they like the British military. What a surprise! To help Tom Cruise and Jamie Foxx best capture the spirit of their characters, Michael Mann wrote documents on the background of Vincent and Max. It says that the document on Vincent had information on how he began to like jazz. Again, Michael Mann going over the top.
Yeah.
Right. Another thing as well was the role of Fanning was originally going to be played by Val Kilmer. And that's who it was written for. And then Val Kilmer had a competing commitment, so he couldn't do it. And that's why I went to Mark Ruffalo.
I can actually see. I mean, Mark Ruffalo's got the whole slick back hair, earring. It's very kind of Kilmer coded, like kind of appearance, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
I mean,
it would have made his death more shocking, I think, because you wouldn't be expecting
Val
Kilmer to buy it.
Yeah.
Fascinating. Some cool bits from inside the cab here. So the seating of the two leads was crucial to certain scenes. For some of their more intimate exchanges, Tom Cruise would sit directly behind Jamie Foxx on the driver's side, so out of Jamie Foxx's peripheral vision, making him more vulnerable and uncertain of his opponent. I quite like that kind of thing. And they put a lot of effort into the setting up for the cab. So they had about like 17 cabs they used for the filming.
Yeah.
All of them with like different windows removed so they could get all the different shots and different angles inside the cab without obviously having a fucked up cab.
Yeah.
So that incredible amount of work keeping track of which cab to use for which scene, and mind-boggling. Amazing though.
It's just that attention to detail and that like kind of comprehensive filmmaking that he does, right? I mean, Michael Mann.
Yeah. Wow. I didn't know that. I didn't pick up on that. There are no opening credits or titles of this film. It just starts. And it doesn't. The first title you see is directed by Michael Mann at the end.
It's actually Jesus. I didn't. Wow.
Yeah.
There you go, man.
You don't need them. You don't need them.
Don't need them, man. I mean, you know what you're going to see. You know what you signed up for.
That's incredible.
That's a fucking statement of intent right there. Like when you don't even have titles, that's class. I love it. Michael Mann, you dude, honestly.
Right. This one does not surprise me. The train sequence was shot with a green screen background because Michael Mann had very precise ideas about what should be visible through the train windows. He obviously had that idea of the establishing kind of closing shot of the train going away around all the is it chemical works or something?
I think it's like towers or something. It's something like that.
There's like industrial stuff, isn't there? So he obviously didn't want it to be like random backgrounds of random residential neighborhoods. You wanted it to be going out of the city into the sticks kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, like, because like you want it to look like it's like because it brings everything in the film down to just like, three people isolated from everything. So you feel like you look out the window and there's a fucking Applebee's with like 7 cars in the car park and like, like it's like, no, that kind of pulls you out of it a bit, I think,
It's like getting to the edge. Like this goes back to what we're talking about, like this being like a magical realm. It's like them getting to the edge, the border of like this weird little pocket dimension they're in.
Yeah.
And then like, so it's like a final, like the final trial, the final test, and not everyone gets to pass through this membrane.
Yeah.
And get back to life. Vincent obviously is the one who doesn't do it. Fantastic. Ed Norton was offered both lead roles. Wild.
I'm really sorry. I'm imagining him playing both at the same time.
Yeah.
Like the clumps.
Edward Norton and Edward Norton.
Like the fucking clumps. Edward Norton just plays everyone in the film. Edward Norton throwing himself out the window. Edward Norton quizzing himself about jazz. Edward Norton in gunfights with multiple Edward Nortons.
Yeah, and then, oh my God, that's brilliant. But Annie, at the end, is played by Brad Pitt. God.
Edward Norton in a fat suit playing El Gordo. This is just the clumps now. We've just stolen this film's legitimacy and taken away all of its grandeur, all of its gravity by just imagining Ed Norton playing every role. This is like that whole recast one film, but every character but one is now played by a Muppet. Right? It's like recast any film, but every character is played by Edward Norton.
I've got one final brilliant bit of trivia, and we'll move on. Bruce McGill is in this movie because Dennis Farina dropped out.
Yeah, Dennis Farina.
Dennis Farina, don't burn your tongue in another man's soup.
Yeah, there's no Irish saying, don't listen to old Polish sayings.
Brilliant, man. Love Dennis Farina. Cool. That's the trivia rundown. We've been through casting. We've done 2 quotes. We've done trivia. So the next category I want to try out is weapons free.
Weapons free.
Where Rory or James O'Toole, you will talk us through the weapon handling in this movie.
Well, I mean, I hope,
it is up to snuff.
Yeah, I mean, like, I hope we all talk like the weapons and stuff in it, because, well, I'm an absolute firearms nerd and a guns and films nerd. I know that you actually blow things up for HM governments, and all you also have your inputs about this as well. But man, I love the gunplay in this film. That the sequence in the alley when he takes out the 2 guys. I mean, we've been in like foreshadowing this through the podcast, but I actually had to go at doing it myself, not in an alley. I didn't walk out into the mean streets of East Hartford and try and gun people down, but I did attempt to kind of replicate the speed and the movements of the draw, and I was convinced I wouldn't be able to actually do it, but through the power of what's probably undiagnosed autism, I actually managed to pretty much pull it off. We've got a video that I'm sure we're going to stick on, and in video you'll see, if you're listening to the audio and it's kind of theatre of the mind, there's a video of me when I'm from a standing position doing a draw, dry firing, because I'm a good boy, dry firing twice, centre mass forward, then pivot and dry fire. Again, I'm doing the fucking handgun thing with my hand. It's like pivot and I fire 2 shots centre mass, then 1 for the head, and I managed to actually get it at the same kind of rate of speed Tom Cruise does it. Now, I'm not saying I've got his level of elite ball knowledge. I know he's significantly higher trained than me. There's things that I didn't do in order to replicate it. In the film, he punches someone, then draws, and
it's probably for a good thing that you didn't do that.
Yeah, like I'm not gonna hey Emma, come down here, I've got to rock your fucking chin, and then I've got to dry fire, and all of these horrible things you do in your kitchen just for a podcast. And also so he's got that motion when he's already moving, his left hand's gone out to hit the guy, his right hand goes back, it pulls out the jacket to let him get to his pistol. I'm drawn from like a holster that's on a battle belt, because I'm too fat and fucking lazy to take the holster off my gun belt and put it on my trousers. So that's probably a bit of a different variable, but yeah, it's an incredible scene, the rapidity that he shoots. I was buzzing that I managed to kind of replicate it. That's pretty cool. Because the plan was I was just going to show how fucking difficult it was and how I almost got it. But anyway.
But you did that like over the course of like an hour or 2 in one night. I bet Cruise and Mann were doing that for hours and hours and hours.
Yeah,
that really good take, you know?
I mean, it was about 15 minutes work. I only did about 15 or 20 attempts at it, I think. But then again, like I said, I'm not bragging, because fucking the conditions Tom Cruise did on that were harder than what I did, I think. But still, quite buzzed. Regarding that guns in this film, something that had us clapping my little hands with glee was that I don't know if you saw 2 of the feds had those little 9mm Colt submachine guns, like the AR-15 with the long 9mm pistol caliber magazine. It's like, pistol caliber carbines, my beloved. I was like, yes, that's like a real that guy moment for me. It's like when you say like a beloved actor, or when I say like a firearm that I kind of have a boner for. I really liked Jamie Foxx's weapon handling as Max. I like the fact that he was trained by the same guy, right, who trained the rest of the cast, but he's clearly been told hold it wrong and shoot with the wrong form and stuff, and it adds so much like legitimacy to the film. It's like every time he successfully uses a gun, he's shooting with terrible form. Like he's holding out, like it's like he's fucking scared of it, and he still gets like a glancing shot on Tom Cruise, and then obviously he annihilates him through the doors of the train, and it's Michael Mann's attention to detail as far as gunfight and gunplay goes, is that it's a guy who's never picked one up in his life. The actor's totally au fait with him, and that's really good physical acting, I think, you know?
I'm super interested to see what Jamie Foxx's weapon handling will be like in the Miami Vice film that he would do 2 years after this. Also, Michael Mann.
I bet it's incredibly slick.
I've been holding off watching it until we did the pod, so I can't remember anything about it really.
Did you catch when Tom Cruise does like a brass check with the slide and that just before he goes and shoots the first guy? I really love that. It's like Tom Cruise is a guy who handles weapons really well on film. It's really believable. I love that. And it's like, yeah, part of it's like, oh, fucking Rory thinks guns are really cool and he was dropped on his head as a child. But also it's like a lot of it does really kind of like make the difference in how believable a film is and like the craft actors put into it. And like you said, shades of storytelling that go into how people handle equipment, much like with any other item of equipment. You know, if I was a car nerd and 10 times cooler, I'd be saying, oh, hey, you know, you can tell the way this guy drives is like kind of really important to character.
Yeah. I think it's worth saying at this point that Tom Cruise, and like another good example, Keanu Reeves.
Yeah.
Okay. Like, these are guys who have been, they're actors.
Yeah.
But they've been doing fight training, they've been doing fitness training, they've been doing weapons training, sometimes for months and months and months on end.
Yeah.
Over the course of the last like 2 or 3 decades. Like, so when you level them against like an operator in the military, for example, so people always go like, oh, they haven't got any credibility. It's not like they're in the military. Well, they're not. But if you think about like what the average working day of a soldier in the British Army is, you know, like they are not on stag all the time.
Yeah.
They are not in fields of combat all the time. They're not like, you know, they're not like SF operators currently constantly operating out a threat or whatever.
Yeah.
They are in a barracks somewhere. They might do a green exercise that's 3 weeks long, maybe once a year, maybe once every 6 months, you know, as well as any other millions of different jobs you've got on top of what you're doing. It's not just running around with guns all the time. So when people talk about like the likes of like Tom Cruise, Keanu Reeves, like any of your big action stars that have got like credibility for doing a lot of weapon handling themselves, you know, they're as skilled as anybody else. I would hasten to say that actors like Tom Cruise, who's doing work with Michael Mann, Val Kilmer, they all use live ammunition. They've done a shit ton of stuff on range with live ammunition, and they did like CQB training with the live ammunition on ranges. You've seen that footage of Keanu Reeves, like
when he's doing that, like I think it's like a 2-gun
CQB gauntlet kind of thing.
It's crazy. It's amazing. And I mean, when he's like being because there's Halle Berry following him around, right?
That's right.
And like she's like, "Oh my god, yeah, you got a record time." It's like, "Oh, but I hit 2 of the plates out of sequence." Like, he's our guy. He's our guy. But no,
he's great.
like I said, these guys are incredibly good at the craft, and I think it's mint. I also, as I said, I love like just that incredibly chunky laser pointer that's on one of the cartel guys' pistols. That's like it's the intersection between the 90s and the 2000s when laser pointers are still fucking huge. When like people they're still preferring like 9mm for like submachine gun kind of shit and not going back to short barrel AR-15s, you know, like it's an interesting time.
Cool. Hey, that was our first ever Weapons 3. Right. I'm going to take it down into a slightly less lethal area now and talk about needle drops. So this movie, right, so one of the criticisms that I've seen for this film is that the music dates it and takes you out of the experience a little bit. And it does. I think there's an element of truth in that. I think some of the tracks that kind of thunder in on the soundtrack do take you out of the moments the music is creating. James Newton Howard, I think, did the original score. Great composer. I haven't checked this, so I might be wrong, but I think he did the score for Nightcrawler as well. Another amazing LA at night. The night in the city is a different character movie. Great. Some of the needle drops in this movie, I think, do take you out of the action a little bit. They also thoroughly date it in the period that it's in. However, we discussed on the pod that I think, and you think as well, that the timing of this movie and the technology available to the people is crucial for how the movie works.
Definitely. I mean, it's essentially a period film at this point. Like looking back at it, and
Yeah, big time. And the music bears that. So we've got stuff like the Seed 2.0 by The Roots.
yeah,
We've got a bit of Groove Armada, Hands of Time. You know, we've got that weird electronic stroke jazzy version of Air on a G-string by Johann Sebastian Bach. Weird. I like that. During the jazz sequence, we've got Spanish Key by Miles Davis. Brilliant. Absolutely fantastic.
yeah.
Right, another great composer here who has done many a film score of their own, but is here as a needle drop. Gustavo Santaolalla with Agatsu, fantastic guitarist, did the music for latterly the Last of Us TV series, but incredible films. Amores Perros, the Motorcycle Diaries, that Che Guevara movie.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, he's great. Where's my big one? There's a whole bunch of them here. Right, obviously Shadow on the Sun by Joe Slave. We've talked about that already.
Yeah.
That appears in the movie twice, actually. Did you catch the second time?
Yes, because there's like a reprise, isn't there? Like it reprises, and that's
just
just before he does the "Go fuck yourself" and crashes. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. So you have like the initial breaking of his brain at the Coyotes, and then that breaking of his brain comes back in actual action, and it's hinted at by the music.
Yeah,
fantastic.
Man.
Kino. And then finally,
I'll tell you which track I really like. Sorry, is the track when Gwen Fanning first appears, and the song "Rollin' Crumblin'" by Tom Rothrock plays.
Oh yeah, there's two Tom Rothrocks in this. Yeah.
Yeah, it is. It has got absolute swagger. It instantly takes me back to like there was that kind of specific sound of some bands at the time. Like it reminds us of the song "North American Scum" by LCD Sound System. It's that like tight little kind of like guitar riff. But I've just seen now someone comment that "quote unquote" is exactly "Going Out West" by Tom Waits.
Tom Waits, yeah.
Like, holy
brilliant.
crap. I mean, yeah, it kind of is, but it's got like that kind of like early 2000s, like swaggery kind of. It's just a vibe that doesn't fucking exist anymore. It's 2007. I'm listening to the Icarus line. I'm looking on the Buddyhead website for its updates on scams you can pull on like drive-thrus and stuff like that. There's music of a very specific timbre that's fucking playing everywhere. And like it just captures moments, it captures sounds, and it captures feelings that have gone and won't come back again. The film is a perfect ship in a bottle of the early to mid 2000s, I think.
Yeah, big time.
Musically, that really, really drives it home.
Yeah, the only track that I don't particularly like is, we mentioned it already, Ready, Steady, Go, Korean Style by Polo Controlled and Andy Gray.
Yeah.
Which plays during the Fever Club sequence, which gives me big, like, Bourne movie energy.
Yeah.
Where it is not welcome. It should be like a grimier, just a thumping, less to scripts, less of a well-known tune piece of music. It should just, I don't believe that a bunch of cool people in LA in 2004 are dancing to Ready, Steady, Go, Korean Style like that in such a high-end place.
Yeah,
it just seems like...
the dancing is something weird. The dancing is some like really weird, like obscure remix of something that was itself
I would have liked
very obscure.
Yeah. If only a few years after this, like a new form of EDM would come and trash all this.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the only one that sticks up for me. It gives me very specific memories of going to the gym in like 2010, 2011, with that on my running playlist, along with like Extreme Ways by Moby and and like all my friends and Daft Punk is playing at my house by a CD sound system and shit like that. Could
you imagine if like they just like dug into like stuff that was like kind of big in like the zeitgeist at the time, like fucking Harmar Superstar or something like that, or Peaches, like they walk in and it's just blasting "Fuck the Pain Away." That would actually be kind of fucking cool. Just to got this mental image now of like just Tom Cruise like kicking someone to death, where it's like, what else is in the Teachers of Peaches? Sex on the Beaches. Yeah, that would actually be wild, to be honest.
Even if like something a bit Nine Inch Nailsy had been on.
Yeah.
You know? Just something a bit like loud and aggressive. Not a pleasant, happy club scene, but an awful, horrible, not like something that you could feasibly see on a sports channel. Like,
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Or an episode of Hollyoaks.
a piece of music that I could be hearing over like a highlight reel of free kicks on much of the day. Like
my goal.
Eat my goal.
That was liquid.
He's got a foot like a traction engine.
That was liquid.
Ooh.
Fucking hell. Oh my god.
What would have been in the Lightning Seeds Life of Riley or something?
Or like Republica.
I'm ready to go.
It would literally have been Republica.
It would have been Republica. In fact, wasn't Republica not the sting music for Soccer Saturday
the music
on
for
Sky?
Soccer Saturday, and they also did the music for a football-related kind of wag-centric soap opera, I think.
Of course it did. What, Footballers' Wives or something?
I wasn't Footballers' Wives, but hold on. This whole office is going on fucking lockdown. We'll find out which TV show that was. Republica TV show soundtrack.
It was you. It was you.
It was you.
I might cut this.
Hold on. It was so Ready to Go, right? Was used frequently in the British children's football drama series Renford Rejects. Keep it in. You keep it in.
Renford Rejects, which is theme tune, was Australia by the Manic Street Preachers.
Australia, yeah. Holy shit, man. What an absolute banger.
Great, I must have loved Renford Rejects. Do you know that the guy who plays like the posh English manager because he had like a foot injury and couldn't play for the team anymore? That guy who's like obviously like one of the kids, but is also the manager and cut around with a blazer on, is in The Dark Knight.
Oh, what?
There you go. There's a pull. Drop that.
Man,
Boom.
holy shit.
Boom. Renford Rejects in a Christopher Nolan movie.
What is this? Crossover episode?
There you go. Right. I was going to cut all that, but we're keeping it in.
We're keeping it in now.
We're keeping it in. It's in.
Keep it in.
Cool. Right, dude. I'm going to reduce the number of these questions I asked because it was getting a bit much. But I'm going to ask you, dude. Would Columbo make this movie better? Would Peter Falk, as a little scrungly old man, improve this movie somewhat?
Peter Falcon's scrungly old man mode would, let's say, he would have been good as the main FBI agent, I think.
Yeah,
he would have been.
That's right.
Yeah,
that's where I saw him in the Bruce McGill.
100%. Just like I couldn't imagine him being like an LAPD detective who gets night shifts because at this point in his career and life, he's too cool. Peter Falk's not playing a guy who gets a shitty night shift.
I would say he gets to the point where he's like over the hill. Bosch mentioned. There's two characters in that called Crate and Barrel who are like the old over the hill, like old retired guys, but they've been in the force for like 35 years, and every season they'll like pull off one amazing thing. Like they'll find one crucial piece of evidence because they've done like the hard yards.
I have to start watching Bosch now.
It's like the Scully and fucking what's it from Scully and
that guy from Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Yeah. I'm a boy Scully. Get in.
Dude, you'll love Bosch, man. Bosch is so good. Okay. Ryan's grocery list, new category. What it means is, like Jack Ryan's grocery list, which isn't a thing in any of the movies, I don't think, but the concept is an oddly mundane human moment in the middle of the chaos. So, despite this crazy situation that's going on, what's a little bit of normality that happens that reminds us that this is all happening in some kind of version of a real world?
So what sort of like kind of anchors it to reality and it kind of humanizes it? And that is interesting.
I think for me, a little nice touch that I liked is the fate of Max's sandwich after the after the guy lands on the roof, then it gets destroyed, and he has to and when he gets pulled over by the cops, you see the state of the sandwich all over the.
Yeah. Oh my god. I like how the cops give him shit for it as well. Like he's just such a fastidious guy, and all of a sudden his world's turned upside down, and now the police are bullying him for his messy car and his sandwich issues. I think that's definitely it. More than the whole I'm gonna go to Fuji and raise cats thing with his like fucking island limos.
Yeah.
Dream. The thing that really humanizes him is you're right. It's like the thing that really ties it to reality is it's that fucking sandwich, man. Because
he tries to eat it.
Yeah.
During the first hit.
Yeah.
As well. Sad.
That is sad. I think you've got it there, definitely.
Next category: VHS and the mess.
VHS and the mess.
So, Would this movie have done well in the mess on board? I've got to say yes, big time.
Yeah.
This is a great movie. To caveat this, or to explain it to people who might not know what I mean. So on His Majesty's Ships of War, the junior rates, senior rates, and officers each have a mess. The officers' one is called the wardroom, and very often they have. Why am I saying that? Every single one of them has a television in which people can plug in hard drives and all that kind of good jazz. And it's not unusual on a period of operations, especially if the ship is in like state 2, so your defense watches doing 6 hours on, 6 hours off, where not everybody gets to watch the same stuff at the same time because people are wandering in and wandering out, to find the same movie playing over and over again at different times of the day over the course of a couple of days until everyone's seen it, basically. And I did a deployment in 2016 on HMS Portland, where I think I watched The Fast and the Furious and The Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift about 4 times over the course of like 1 week because it was just always on in the mess.
Symbols.
And so, would this be one of those kind of movies that would get played in the mess like 20 times until everyone's seen it? Yes, because it bangs, is my answer. Yeah.
I mean, just for new listeners and stuff, not really able to qualify to answer this question because I'm the token civilian that Mike and Sanya won in a card game. The next episode I have when Sanya's back online with us, there'll be more like back and forth, I think, about whether or not this would have gone down well in the mess. It's interesting because the next film, people are aware now that we're doing Manhunter next, so
Indeed.
That'll be an interesting one to debate whether that absolutely
it's an interesting one.
Wild film would go down well in the mess among the fighting men and women of your nations.
So the elements that you've got to bear in mind are it's blockbuster. It's right. So it's wide appeal. Okay, it's blockbuster bankability. It's how readily available is that film going to be on someone's hard drive? Quite likely, and is it just a bit fucking weird? And what I found is films that are just a little bit fucking weird generally don't play as well.
Yeah.
So it's a weird one. It's not as simple as is the movie good or not. So like there are lots of movies that I think are brilliant, but might not necessarily find themselves being played on a wardroom hard drive. And yet weirdly, Ironclad would probably do really well for a week.
Yeah.
You know, so just stray bolt to poor old Ironclad there, but yeah. But what the fuck is that film? Anyway, right. Next category. I'm going to call this the PS2 Tie-in Game Award. If this movie had a tie-in video game, not necessarily for the PS2, what kind of game would it be? And conversely, if we're doing a movie that did have a tie-in game, like what should it have been?
Yeah. I mean, part of us wants to say kind of like a Crazy Taxi type game, but I don't know how much you could kind of spin out in that, because I mean, Crazy Taxi is obviously a very fun, light-hearted kind of game. Get ready to make some crazy money, and then it's, get ready to drive a grey-haired sociopath around various locations trying to kill someone. I mean, it is like kind of like the same GTA mission over and over again, really, isn't it?
It's just one GTA. It's like GTA 5 mission over and over and over again.
So I'm thinking,
or San Andreas.
It would come out as one of those like kind of GTA-ish games. In fact, I'll tell you the perfect analog: True Crime Streets of LA, except with less.
I thought you were going to say that.
Yeah, it'll be like True Crime Streets of LA, but with less content.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
that's awesome. And then like Rush Hour 2 would be like Sleeping Dogs.
Rush Hour 2 would be totally Sleeping Dogs. Holy crap, man.
Awesome.
I'm excited about this new category. This is going to be fun.
Yeah, man. So if it wasn't like a Crazy Taxi or a GTA for me, I think the next best one, the movie takes place from Max's point of view, okay? That's who we're seeing this world through. So if it was the other way, it was Vincent, then yeah, this is a series of hitman missions, and then your exit point is the cab, right? And then a cutscene happens and the cab's in a slightly different state.
Yeah.
And then the mission changes, and you've got like Diana Burnwood going like, "Hello, Agent 47," or "Hello, Agent Vincent." Your target is Peter Lynn in the Fever Club in South Central, you know, and like, but watch out because Felix Reyes Torrena has sent his hitmen also to hit you and the target. That kind of shit.
Incredible.
But we're Max, right? So I think if it's not exactly Crazy Taxi, it's the next best thing, right? Which is the music video for Californication by Red Hot Chili Peppers.
God, it totally is.
Which is not only Crazy Taxi, but is also like SXX snowboarding, and also like The Simpsons Hit and Run.
Yeah, and with a bit of Sonic Adventure thrown in there.
The Sonic Adventure and some kind of magic carpet bullshit.
I tell you what, game based on like Detective Fanning's end of it would be like a really fucking bleak, like a third-person RPG, or even a really bleak, like point-and-click RPG kind of thing. I think.
Yeah.
Like just something made with like the Scum engine, like Day of the Tentacle or whatever, but like
Yeah.
but like not with like cutesy graphics, like just like downbeat LA kind of visuals.
Yeah. Or it's like a top-down. It's like Hotline Miami.
Yes.
Oh, grim. Yeah. Good category. I'm gonna keep that. The next one, the Ding Chavez Award for missed opportunity of the movie. Dude, there's not a lot left on the table in this movie. I've agreed with all the major choices that Michael Mann is made in this film.
Yeah.
His decision to obfuscate the grand jury indictment, so we don't really know what it's for, what it's about. It's just some amorphous organized crime.
Yeah.
We don't know why the FBI have been a bit negligent. We don't really know why or where the surveillance operation that's brought together all the information for all the targets has come from. Like, it's all, I like that about it.
Yeah. It doesn't really miss out on any opportunities, even like the kind of bit part characters who were there just to give a small amount of exposition or explanation. People like the guy in the morgue, stuff like that. It's like, even though they're barely used, they're used for like the perfect amount of time. Everything's in proportion. Like, I mean, we could have had a scene when the mortuary guy who was portrayed in a kind of, this guy's a bit weird kind of fashion. We could have had another scene with him also doing more weird mortuary guy stuff, but it wasn't necessary, so we didn't get it, and that's just fine. That's just fine, because that's his excellent way of storytelling. So missed opportunities, not many at all that I can think of.
Yeah, the only thing, right, if I was going to do a stupid answer, I would say, because of what was going on at the same time in her career, there's an opportunity here where Jada Pinkett Smith, who was also Niobe in The Matrix Reloaded and Revolutions,
holy crap, yeah,
could have done some kind of like amazing kind of weird Karate Kid kind of kick to momentarily distract to Vincent at the end of the movie. But that's obviously like a stupid answer. Otherwise, I don't think there's anything. This is one of the best movies we've done.
Yeah. A lot of people in reviews I've seen of it have said, like, where are the police after the guys are initially waved off by the shots fired? You could say there was a missed opportunity for the police to be chasing after them, but then it ruins the film, and it just, like, and the point is the film's like lack of police interaction with them is because it underlines that LA is a fucking dangerous, heartless city where there's not going to be a policeman at every corner for you. You know?
Yeah.
That's the thing. Like, I mean, they're looking after their own in this one. There's been shots fired, so every car's in attendance. Yeah.
It supports like the fable like idea that they're having a descent into like a long dark night of the soul kind of thing for each of them as well.
Yeah.
They've passed through a veil into a gauntlet of like where they're getting distilled or trial by fire. Who are they really when they get down to it?
Yeah.
And they're fighting for their lives, and then they end.
Yeah.
By literally doing that. It's two guys being like put through the absolute ringer.
Yeah.
And for me, it works that it's slightly unreal and that there are little things like that taken away. Like,
yeah,
any superfluous external influence is completely gone. Even the weather is completely neutral. It doesn't rain. It's not wet on the streets necessarily.
You see wind. Blowing the palm trees, but it's LA. It's like hot and dry, right? I mean, that's what I'm told. It's like hot and dry, hot and sunny.
But there's no other. There's a real lack of external factors.
Yeah,
it's just
like it's because it's
that isn't there for the mission. You know.
Yeah, like it's because it's a city at night. Night City, if you will. Sorry, it's like it's a city in that special kind of nighttime. You know, it's not just a city when the sun's gone down. It's a city at a special kind of, like, you know what? I'm gonna quote a song about LA by the Distillers. It's a ghost town, rabid underworld, Dionysian night, vitriolic twilight. And I just love like this Dionysian night of the city. It's like a twilight of the gods. It's like this weird, like kind of holy yet unholy, primitive, primal, spiritual.
Cool.
Yeah.
Final category. Is this movie pro or anti the Central Intelligence Agency?
Well, haven't thought about what you said. Yeah, haven't thought about what you said when you said that you kind of inferred from it that Vincent's done this shit, not just for 6 years, he's done this shit previously. And when I was looking at quotes, he does say 6 years private sector. So,
Exactly, yeah. What was he doing in the public sector?
well, I mean, it's either public sector or it's just freelance criminal shit. So it's more likely, I think, going to be public sector because he's incredibly adept at weapons handling. When he compares fighting abilities to the lads that he aces in the alley, they're not private sector.
He's done a hand-to-hand as well.
Yeah. Is this film pro or anti-CIA though? I mean,
I suppose it's indifferent to specifically the CIA.
Yeah.
I think there's a commentary on the federal government
yeah,
and that the FBI is shown to be incompetent
yeah,
and neglectful. And I think it's also an indication that what Felix alludes to, where the initial source of the very expensive surveillance operation and intelligence gathering operations that took place to get the information on the targets that he has, implies to me that they've got into some federal stuff. Now, whether or not that's through some very expensive theft, or that's some corruption that's occurred, maybe makes it doesn't paint the federal government in a favourable light.
It doesn't paint the federal government well, and I think previously we have put that down to be anti-CIA. Is that correct?
Yeah, I think we have. Yeah, so scores on the doors now then. If we're going to go this for anti, I think it's 8 against 3 pro.
Holy
It'll
shit.
change soon. We've got some Tom Clancy coming.
We have Jax Ryan coming up indeed. So yes.
Indeed, we had. That's a good segue. That brings us to the end of season 2, episode 1 of Clear and Present Dudes. I've been Mike. We've had Rory here. Coming up next, we've got our Michael Mann continuing with the next episode being Manhunter, the 1986 film, which introduces the world to Hannibal Lecter. Also coming up shortly, we have Tom Clancy, The Sum of All Fears, Sicario, and we've also got The Fugitive, finally, our first Harrison Ford movie. So a lot of interesting things coming down the pipe for the Clear and Present Dudes. But until then, just Rory and I, and sadly no Sanya today, but we have been
Clear
and present
dude. Thank you. We'll see you in 2 weeks' time when Sanya will be back among us.
Take care.
Peace out.